That
Go
should.
live. Where is it? I notice now you don't have to hit start streaming; it just automatically goes live now.
Yeah,
Well,
That
that's
it
handy.
does.
is that's actually pretty good. So now when I end the stream, I can successfully just end the stream. Oh no, there's still an end stream button. So that's weird.
It takes a while. It lags a bit behind when you end the stream, so it will end inevitably, but it's a little bit after the stream that ends. That's how it happens.
Okay. All right. We are here, guys. What's up, chat? Glad to see you guys are still with us. It's been maybe a month and a half since the last podcast, but a lot has happened.
Has it been that
And
long, man?
yeah, I think it was like late September that we did a pod. Maybe
Jeez.
maybe the 29th. Maybe it was the 29th of September. But couple of games came out. We got a lot to talk about. And hopefully we have a very informative episode for you guys. Appreciate everybody coming out. What's up, Kogan? What's up, Sebastian? Ace, Nightwolf, Dream Chaser, Triplin. The usual suspects is among us. And hopefully nobody
Among
is
Us.
sus. Speaking of Among Us, has that game officially died down for even you guys? Like, do you guys just not play anymore? Or you guys always play?
Well, it's the issue is just that it's just getting people together because like I'm always down to play. It's just that like it's usually getting people together is the trickier part. But we at least like us and our friend group have kind of like moved over to like Lethal Company, which is also a really fun game. Just because we all have like for Among Us, you need like I want to say you probably need like minimum 5 people, and just sometimes it's a little tricky to get that going. I'd still play Among Us if I think we played the last time we played was when they added the new jungle map, but I haven't played really since.
Interesting. It sucks how some games just get their time in the limelight for like maybe a year and a half, and then it's over. The craze is over. The craze is done. We move on to something else.
Yeah, but I mean, usually, hey, listen, so long as they keep putting out updates, I think people will keep coming back.
That's true. Yeah, if they do like major updates, there will be like a surge in people coming back with new maps and a whole bunch of new roles, I guess. Because I officially can't play that game now. There's just too much going on. And then on top of lying, I was like, I can't do it anymore.
On top of lying,
I can't do it anymore.
Shadow's too much of a pure soul, chat.
Yo, seriously, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's hard to do it. Oh no, man. Because like I think the problem is keeping track of everything. Because it's like, oh, somebody passes. I gotta make a note of who passed me. What were they doing? Where did they come
and then
from?
Even if you know, you'd be like, okay, I remember this, and people go, that's a little too specific. I think he's folding. Get him out.
Yeah. It's like if somebody is like suddenly appears in front of me, like how did he get in front of me? Did he use a vent to suddenly show up? Like how did that work? I was like, I don't know. It's too much.
Speaking
to
of
keep track
vent, a new party member has vented into the chat. Riku-san 1, how are you doing today, sir?
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
What up, Riku?
I'm doing good, Riku-san 1.
That's good. Sorry for being a bit late.
It's cool.
I told Shadow you were going to be here unless there was a family emergency.
Yeah, I had some things.
Appreciate you being here, sir. All right, let's get this party started so we can talk about these games and mosey on out of here. What's going on, everybody? HPMP JRPG Podcast, episode 108. We're on podcast services like Google Play, Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever you get your podcast. It's more than likely being broadcast to. So if you're listening to this in post, thank you for listening on those platforms. All right, we got a lot of things to talk about, so let's start with the intros. Q, are you there? No, Q is not there. Riku, you just came in, so go ahead, man.
Riku's on one, the only one. Hello, everyone. Hello, Energy Riku today. It is what it is, but I'm here.
All right, Blake.
It is that time. What's going on, guys? We are here. We are ready for another episode of the HPMP. I can't believe it's been that long, yo. I flew in a plane. Went on vacation, bro. I've had some character development, but we're here and we're excited.
How was the plane ride?
bro, like that was my first time flying, and like honestly, it was a magical experience. When I left, it was like pouring rain, and I had like a Disney moment where like we came up above the clouds and the sky was blue, and like my eyes lit up. It was beautiful.
Nice. I like flying. I just hate taking off. Taking off, especially during the day.
Dude, my head like shot back into my seat, bro. Like I didn't realize that like they were getting that. They said getting up to speed. I didn't realize it was like 0 to 200.
I just don't like looking out the window, and like the higher we get up, it's like the smaller the buildings become, the smaller the cars become. I get like mad nervous. I'm like, please just keep going up. Don't.
I was like, don't let nothing happen, bro, because I ain't letting.
You get accustomed to it with time, though. You just get accustomed with time.
You know that, Blake? Did you have that feeling where, as the plane is like ascending, it kind of descends for a split second, but keep on ascending. You're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. No, I because I was surrounded in cloud, I couldn't really like tell, but I could feel it in my stomach. I was like, it would feel like kind of like a roller coaster, like you feel like you're like falling, like you drop a little bit and then you go back up and then you drop a little bit.
Yep. I like flying. I flew
definitely do it again.
First class a couple of months back, and I should have never did that because now
it's a waste of money.
I was like, now you want to do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't think I ever want to go back to like economy and premium economy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I should try to fly first class because like once you get a taste.
Yeah.
Am I the only one has never been on a cruise?
I've never been on a cruise before. I've never
been on a cruise. Despite me living in the Bahamas for 7 years, I've never been on a cruise.
You should do it. Cruises are fun. I like them. Except for like unless you get like seasick. Actually, no, it's gonna be your first time, so it's gonna be hell. So you're gonna have to accommodate those first few hours when they set sail. All right, Bao.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to HBMP. Let's talk about some RPGs.
All right, guys. You know who I am. Miss JRPG Shadow out here in these streets. Like I said, a lot to talk about. Let's get started.
Wait, did I not get an intro?
Bro, you said
you did.
Where did you go?
You did, and then like you weren't here, so I was just like, I'm just moving on, sir. We on a tight schedule today, bro.
It is I, your husband of dreams. We are here for them waifus. And I did BRB, and I was back. So
okay, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Had to go get the milk real quick.
No. I've got a family thing. Anyway, continue. Go on.
So we're gonna go around the room real quick, see what everybody's playing. But Q, you don't have to tell us what you're playing.
I'm good. I'm good. You guys continue. I'll just listen.
We just need a progress report. That's all we need. Just need a progress report. So give us your progress report.
It's coming along. Don't worry about it.
It's coming along. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's a game completed. There were 2 games completed.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, Chad. I tried, man. I tried. He doesn't want to. Divulge the details.
Doesn't want to spill it.
He's got about 2 months remaining.
Yeah, 2 months remaining.
We'll see what's going on. But Bob, what do you have to say about that? And what are you playing?
I mean, it's just sad at this point. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, that's mean, man. That's mean.
Oh, so yeah, Bob, what are you playing?
Primarily been playing Metaphor along with some Vampire Survivors on the side in preparation for the new DLC update.
Okay, cool. Blake, what are you out here playing?
I am playing the newest Sonic release, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Your boy just got the Platinum the other day, and but aside from that, I wanted to play Metaphor. Unfortunately, life got in the way, and I wasn't able to pick it up at this point as well. I'm kind of got this weird feeling where I'm like, this game is so successful. 1,000% Atlas is already developing another version. I'm just gonna wait for that because like there's no way that the game is this successful and they're not making another version already. So high key, I might just try and hold out.
Yeah, I say hold out. Just hold out for like maybe a couple of months. Like mid next year, you'll probably hear some rumors going around. You could hold out.
They're definitely got a Switch 2 version cooking up. Whether that version is going to have exclusive content or just be a port, who's to say? But it's definitely getting ported there.
All right. Riku, what are you playing?
Currently, I am playing Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Right.
And, what difficulty you playing on? Just to.
I am playing on normal difficulty, the Maniacs route.
Okay.
Is that what it's called, Maniacs?
I think that's the main route, I believe.
No, that's the alternate route with Dante in it.
Oh,
The regular one doesn't have a name as far as I know. It's just the regular route and then
No.
the Maniacs route.
Maniacs is. Wait, Maniacs is what we got initially in the States, right?
I'm
That's the
not
one
sure.
with Dante.
I just know. I just
Dante
know.
would have been the North American one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just know that that at the title screen, it's like here's the regular game with Raito, and if you want Dante as a DLC, you need to play the Maniacs route and pay fucking like $10 to Atlas to unlock the route and Dante.
That was bullshit. That was bullshit.
But I want Dante,
Oh my
so
God.
I
Maniac's
forked up the
route
money.
literally just means Dante. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm playing that. It's going along. It's going along.
What do you mean?
I'm just running around.
What's
I
the
mean,
issue?
I'm just no. I'm not like bored or like disappointed or anything. It's just obviously coming from like the later games in this franchise. Obviously, it's it has some moments where it can feel bare bones, but I'm just running around the city. That's about it. Run around the city talking to demons and deserts and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So this is SMT3, huh?
I promise you, dude. I promise you, it does not, and it does not change from that for a while. So it is what it is. Nocturne is a very different game. Yours.
I'm at least
completed. Huh?
I feel like since I grew up on a decent amount of Pokemon, I still have an enjoyment in the monster collecting genre to where SMT isn't something that I can see myself dropping just because it still at least has that aspect to it, which all SMT games have that because they are essentially monster collecting games, right? Just with demons. So that main
I feel like
aspect
monster
of
collecting is not a good thing for Shin Megami Tensei. Like you use demons.
By
I don't think you really.
definition, I mean, it's
technically
kind of like a
not
monster
wrong.
collector.
I mean, it's the original monster collector. Period.
Yeah,
It is.
Don't they have like a spinoff?
That's what the genre's
literally
called,
is
though.
Like
Jack
a
Bros?
monster collection. Like I feel like there was a Japanese only game that was literally only like the point of was to capture the demons. It was like a Pokemon game and you battle with demons.
There's Dammy Kids.
I
but that's
consider
just kid
the
SMT.
genre anything. If you are the character and you are going out collecting beings of sorts to, further your goals in your journey, and you swap between them, and you can obtain them in a specific way. So, I put that under the umbrella, and if we have to give it a name. I don't know. I mean, you can give it a name if you want, but as far as I know,
Monster Collector might be right. It just I feel like it doesn't feel right for me personally. I mean, it's right. It's like saying I don't know. It's like saying Elden Ring JRPG or Dark Souls JRPG. It doesn't feel right to me, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it's under the umbrella. It's probably just the furthest on the corner of it, but yeah.
Okay.
Monster Tamer. I see that in the comment section. Sure, you can call it that. I mean,
Monster Tamer. I feel better about that. Yeah, Monster Tamer game. Yeah. How do you
I
find
don't know. I
the
feel like
difficulty?
I'm collecting them. So, what happened? Difficulty. Hard was retarded. The regular difficulty is fine. It's fine. I haven't got to Matador yet. Apparently I'm like really close to him. So I'll give you my thoughts on Matador. I guess the next episode. But everyone's like, "Oh, did you get to Matador yet?" Like I guess Matador is this like defining moment in the game.
Yeah, it pretty much sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'm apparently like right there.
So apparently for me, what I've been playing, I should have been playing Metaphor a lot more. I have not been playing Metaphor as much as I've wanted to. I kind of got distracted with other games. To be honest, I've been getting distracted with Pokemon ROM hacks,
Hey.
and for some reason, I was playing Pokemon Crystal Clear ROM hack.
Oh,
And
that's a good one.
it's basically it's just Pokemon Crystal, just better. It's just better.
Yep.
They rebalance a whole bunch of Pokemon, and it's just like the gym leaders are rebalanced and everything, and it's just the
Levels
same
make
game.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the same thing. It's just me going through a nostalgia trick playing old Pokemon game, and then I started playing Radical Red. That one was just, oh my god, that it was fun, but at the same time it was ridiculous. And they're basically ROM hacks of the Fire Red game, and it's the same thing, because like when I'm looking into the ROM hacks, I don't want a completely different game. I want the same game that I played back in the day, but you enhanced it basically, and that's what they did.
Oh, you
They
want
enhan-
remakes or remasters?
yeah, like a remake, remaster type deal. Yeah. And Radical Red, it was challenging, but sometimes it got ridiculous. It was like the creator just wanted to piss you off. And I'm just like, I played the Kaizo games, Blue Kaizo, and I think I played Emerald Kaizo for a little bit, but Blue Kaizo was just like,
Give me some
Dark
examples
Souls.
of what a Pokemon game can do to make it bullshit.
Okay, so they rebalanced the gym leaders, and some of the gym leaders have Pokemon that aren't specific to their type, so they cover their weaknesses a lot. And or they will start off a battle with like weather effects active. So like if the gym leader uses ground type, so a Sandstorm will start, a Sun will start, or something like that. And in turn, you have to be ready for, let's say the Sun is set up. If you heard of the attack called Solar Beam, that's gonna go off in
Yeah.
one turn. So I gotta expect a knockout if I'm not prepared.
They also have EV and IV training and how
Yeah, they
items
have.
that are
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
they're just gonna hit more and tank more.
Yeah, and there were just
Naturally.
times where I forgot what Pokemon.
I got a
I
question
was-
because I as you were explaining that, I was like, what could a Pokemon game do that would be considered bullshit? I guess if you were fighting a trainer or a gym leader, and they like continuously used full restore.
Oh no, that's
So that's kind of a given. You don't get to be champion of the Elite Four without knowing how to spam full restores.
Plus
Yeah, but they don't use it like more than like 3 times.
Every gym leader has, I want to say, three
Yeah, and
hyper potions or full throws or whatever.
in the official games, yeah. But in the these ROM hacks, they don't have it, and you can't use battle items during battle anyway.
Interesting.
So you have to make sure, and then you have to make so other bullshit is there was one Pokemon that I swear, like I think it was my Infernape, and he had speed max out, but he was still getting outsped by a monk. I was like, how?
Held items can do that.
Oh, was it a choice scarf?
Maybe it could have been a choice scarf. I think because I got choice scarf like a little bit after it, so I understood that maybe that.
Man,
could have been
yeah,
it.
I say
But that
they're
just seemed
scarfing
insane.
their dude, man. Like, yeah, that's a little tricky. I know, like, there's like I know Pokemon Snakewood and I think Pokemon Liquid Crystal are a little tricky as well. But I don't think they use held items like that, man.
Yeah, they were using held items. They were using. There was this one thing called I don't know if you guys heard of it, like red herb or something like that, and they could
Oh,
use
I
charge
feel like I remember
moves
what that
on the
does.
same turn, like hyper
Yeah,
beam,
like
meteor
instantly.
beam.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is stupid. I'm like, this is absolutely stupid. I'm getting outsped. You have items. Your teams are specifically they're like competitive teams, online competitive teams. But luckily, I just watched a lot of competitive Pokemon battles, like with Shofu and stuff like that. So I know a lot about it. So I know a lot about what's going on. So when I beat Radical Red, I was just like, I don't know. I don't want to play another one. I want to play another freaking ROM hack for a while. Actually, no, I downloaded Blaze Black, so I'll probably end up playing that.
No, you playing Blaze Black. See, Drayano is really like his stuff is hard but fair. It makes you think. Like it's very strategic. It's not like bullshit. But yeah, Blaze Black, Volt White, Storm Silver. Yeah, those are great.
See, you're playing the ROM hacks that are centered around just making your life miserable. There's tons out there that are just creative and fun.
But I do like those ROM hacks that make you like think a little bit more and are a bit challenging. But I will say for Radical Red, once I got towards like the Elite Four and the freaking the champion team, it was a little bit. They were just spamming legendaries in my face, and I'm just like, I'm not using legendaries. So of course you're more powerful.
man.
Of course you're outspeeding me.
Reminds me of if you played Gale of Darkness, Mount Battle, like the last 30 levels of Mount Battle, it's 100 floors. The last 30 levels, people are just busting out legendaries left and right like it's nothing.
It's ridiculous. The guy, I think Gary, he popped out Eternius, I think his name.
Eternitus? Oh my gosh.
The freaking X and Y, the Y legendary. He had a whole team.
Well, wait,
I was dying.
No, that's Yveltal if it's the Y legendary.
It might be Xerneas.
Yeah.
Xerneas is the reindeer.
Yeah.
Xerneas Yveltal, okay.
But it was also interesting because like I was running into Pokemon that I'd never seen before because I'd never played Legends of Arceus like that. Now I never like got all the Pokemon Legends of Arceus. I haven't seen all the Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, so it was nice to see those Pokemon in like 2D. I was like, oh yeah, that's good. And there were just some times where I was just like, what the hell? Cypher has another evolution? Since when? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, they must be like updating that ROM hack, like kind of like they've got.
9.
Yeah, it has
Really?
all.
Okay.
It has all. Of
Yeah,
them.
even the DLC from Gen 9, like the Hydra Apple, are in there.
Yeah, they had raid battles too. So no, it was ridiculously fun.
And it all takes place in the Kanto region?
Yep. Kanto reason and Johto gym leaders are all around the place, and they were tough.
Man.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I'm gonna get back to Metaphor probably this week, and I'm gonna no life that. I'm gonna make sure I no life it because I think I'm gonna stream it, and I'm just gonna be on stream just playing the game. I might not be interacting with the chat much, but I just want to make sure I'm concentrating and playing the game. Alrighty, so before we get into it, we got a super chat.
Got a super chat from Coogan with the $2 super chat saying, "To be toxic, top 5 worst Trails characters." See, I don't know how we want to do this because this is just going to devolve into anarchy.
Yeah.
Do we want to do this like one at a time or like?
I'm gonna say Georg because of his name.
Gay. Yeah. Okay.
That what's her name's cousin? Ellie's cousin.
Maribel?
No, Dieter Croy or whatever his name is.
Dieter Croy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Wow, Lady Pelvic might kill you for that. She's a Dieter Croy simp.
Maybe she should get in here then.
Exactly, defend her choice. What's his name from Sky One? The scientist guy, the main bad guy that was experimenting on people. I forgot his name.
Weissman?
I think so. Yeah, Wiseman. Yeah, him. Yeah, but I think he's just a good bad guy. I don't know. I think I just liked him because he was a cool bad guy. I think.
Are you saying worst Trails characters? You said Weissman.
Yeah.
When he says worst, I'm assuming he means characters you just don't like.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Never mind. I like Wiseman. He's cool. Who else? This is hard. That's hard. Anybody else got anybody else from off the top of their head?
Just Emma.
I hate you. Why you like this?
Emma. Cedric. Can't stand that motherfucker. Who else?
What's that girl's name that's like clearly a lesbian?
That doesn't narrow it down, bro. Oh, Angelica. Yeah, Angelica.
Yeah.
Also, don't like Angelica.
I just don't like the double standard with her. Because she could do all this stuff, but let a guy be doing all of it. You have this whole series canceled.
Oh, we got another super chat from Yora Mixta saying Cedric sucks. Enough said. We agree. Yes. There are no Cedric Hive, maybe Riku, but no one in here is part of the Cedric Hive.
No, I like Cedric when he was Chester.
Wait, is that the prince?
No, Chester is a character from E3. He's basically like
Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric is the prince, Olivia's little brother.
Pretty much got with what's his name? What's her name? I forgot her name too.
Yes. I hope that's the case.
Not confirmed, but yeah.
She definitely pegging the shit out of him.
Definitely.
I am interested to see what they're going to do with him in future Trails games. I doubt he's in like Kudo 2 or Kai. So they said he's gonna come back and he's doing something. So if Falcom is saying they have one arc left, he's gonna have to appear in there somewhere. So
I hope he's matured. It seems like he matured.
Let's see.
Anybody got anybody else? Real quick from the top of their head.
Thank you for the super chat, buddy, but I will not be participating in this.
Yeah, I guess Estelle, off the top of my head.
Yo, you're wild. You're wild for that.
Yeah.
Estelle's great.
That's
You
wild.
know what's interesting about Estelle? That I've heard that Estelle, that the only reason like people like me like Estelle is because the localization took liberties on her dialogue. And I'm
I
just
mean,
like,
it's true.
Yeah, I have heard people saying that. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just like, I mean, they made her very entertaining to me. So what can you do?
She's probably only going to get even more likable when that remake comes out.
Yep. So it is what it is. Q, from the games that you played, I'm sure that you played a lot. Can you name just one character that you don't like?
From East, from
No.
Trails in the Sky.
From
Christ, where are you?
Sorry. Trails in the Sky. Let me see. Who do I not like in Trails in the Sky? I didn't like what's her face, the main girl at first, but I grew to like her a little bit more now. Sorry, Estelle. Yeah, Estelle.
Yeah.
Didn't like her as much at the beginning, but once she started to, once I realized that I could ship her with someone, I was like, all right, she's growing on me. I think if there's anyone I don't like, it's the musician guy. What's his name again?
Lord?
Yeah.
Crazy.
The blonde guy. Oh, he's kind of annoying, is he?
Oh,
Olivier.
wait. Olivier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Q, he's just you.
Yeah,
He's
you
a
would get-
ladies'
you-
man.
Yeah, you would get some
No,
of that.
he's not me. He's not me. I'm
He's a-
I'm a gentle husband of dreams. He's a creep. So it's,
Wow. Okay.
he kinda,
I mean, he's not necessarily wrong. If you've played it, I feel like a decent amount of people retroactively absolutely love Olivier. But if you were playing Trails in the Sky and you had no knowledge on it, like the entire Sky squad kind of treats him as such. Obviously before they knew who he really is, and I won't spoil that for Q. But the point is, yeah, everyone kind of treated him like a creep because he kind of acted like it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair
But I will say, there are characters I don't like, but I think more than anything else, I like the characters. I like Charizard. I like Chloe.
We're not talking about characters we like now.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
You talk about characters you just like.
I think another one I don't like is Tita. She's a chibi.
All right, we're done. We're done.
I have no time with chibis that I
Another
can't
super
waifu. She
Laura?
is unnecessary. Can't waifu her.
I thought we cared about diversity.
She is a precious cinnamon bun. Like, do not. Come on now. It doesn't have to be.
can't
white
I think the
girl.
only thing to dislike
Oh my
about Tita is the fact that she's squishy. Nothing about her characterization
Yeah.
shouldn't be dislikable to you. Like I said,
Can't be waifu.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And then,
No,
we got one more super chat.
I can't fuck her, therefore I don't like her. Like Lord,
Hey, yo.
that's basically what he said.
He said, screw Cedric. All my homies hate Cedric. Hey, man, Cedric hasn't done anything likable yet.
Now that
Yeah,
I think about it, I'd also say Marcus and Elliot. Not because I distinctly
Marcus?
dislike them. They're just kind of, not
Marcus is my
remarkable
guy.
like
Sounds like
rest of the
that
cast.
was
Yeah,
failing his
Marcus-
inspection.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Marcus is great. Like he is like
I can get behind the
For me-
Elliot fucking don't do shit.
Yeah, Elliot is just like he's just a
I never liked Elliot from the beginning I met him. I only used him because he was my healer.
Yeah, he's like he has good support stuff. If you really want to use him in like sequel games and stuff like that, but yeah, I really didn't care for him that much. But it's not like I didn't like him. Like everybody's likable. Like the main cast, I think is pretty likable.
I also didn't care for Wiseman just as a villain. Just,
I mean, it doesn't seem like you care about anything from Sky, so that's not surprising.
How'd you even play it? Let's not get into that.
That's not true. But yeah, just don't like Wiseman that much. Not really a memorable villain for me.
All right.
Makes good table seasoning though.
Table seasoning. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Main topics time. Let's go. Let's start off with a bang. Let's start off Metaphor ReFantazio. Came out in these JRPG streets about 2 weeks ago, and oh my god, it got the biggest reception I have ever seen an Atlas game get, but that wasn't Persona. Like, holy crap, and I don't want to toot my own horn and say I was right, but goddamn was I right. We all thought that, this game wasn't going to get high scores on Metacritic. There's no chance it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year. But
Then why aren't you playing it?
No. I'm going to be playing. I got distracted. Relax, all right? But no. We are out here in a metaphor world, And this game has received praises upon praises across the board, sitting at the highest of highest scores, one of the highest scores that released this year of 93 on Metacritic. Holy crap, a 93 is just ridiculous. I didn't even think it would go that high. I was thinking maybe 88 at the most. Well, holy crap.
I said 89.
Yeah, and it got higher. I need to play more before I really want to go into it. But from what I've played, it very much is borrowing from Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, all this good stuff. Maybe it's borrowing all the good stuff and maybe going a little bit further beyond. I'm not sure. But as of right now, I know there's some people that probably already completed it and could probably confirm it, but we'll see. I think Bao, you're playing it. What do you think of it?
To be blunt, it does not live up to all that hype.
Holy crap!
It's a good RPG. Nowhere in the realm of Alice's best RPG.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it borrows from their other games, but it does nothing new with them. It's just the press turn system, it's the Persona calendar system, it's the Persona infiltrate this dungeon, and then within this amount of days completed, blah blah blah. It uses the foe system from Etrian Odyssey. Like, this is all kind of just been here, done that, besides the setting. And the setting is fine. Like, there's a few beautiful pieces of like art in there, cool design, set pieces and all of that, but 45 hours in, and I've only had like 2 moments in the game where I felt like, okay, this is really great and not just good. But I'm still enjoying it. It's just top Alice RPG, no.
So you think it's just more of like a best hits album of using everything that Atlas has had good?
I guess, yeah.
So does it like, I know you played for 45 hours, and I know it's like a 60-hour, maybe 80-hour game. But is it a master at anything, or is it just a jack of all trades?
Jack of all trades. Like, for example, I would say for like, no, I praise the atmosphere. Strange Journey does that even better. I praise the general gameplay. Like I said, it's just the press turn system that every SMT game from the PS2 era has been using. There's nothing new there. So that's that. Story. The cast is likable, especially a few standouts, but Devil Survivor, pretty much any Persona game, all have generally stronger casts to me, honestly. And like, the fact there's a job system is cool and all, but it's okay. I also don't feel like the jobs are that vastly different and unique to something like, I don't know, a Bravely Default or even Final Fantasy V. It's like you have the maze job, which does what you think, a healer job, a knight job, that's a tank. You have a thief job that doesn't really do thiefy things. You have, like, let's put it this way, a bunch of the physical classes kind of melt together, a bunch of the magical classes kind of melt together. It's not really that unique.
Okay. You know, like, your attitude about it is kind of like how I feel I'm gonna be when I play the game more. I'm be like, why is this game rated so high when it's just borrowing other things from other games, and it's not.
I think it's
going that crazy.
I think the thing is, people just think of Persona when they think of Atlas.
Oh,
but
holy shit!
Go ahead.
Big super chat from Cranberry, $100 super chat from Cranberry. God damn. Too busy playing Metaphor, so I'll catch you guys another time live. But I'll just say, Bao is tripping. Metaphor improves, in all caps, on all the previous mechanics, which I think why people are enjoying it so much. Still love you, Bao.
Ooh,
okay,
man.
But how does it do that? It's just ripped straight from their other games. What do you mean?
Man, Cranberry with the $100 super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it a lot. But I am interested to see what he means by does improve. Like you said, Bao. What does it exactly improve on? But man, oh man, $100 super chat. Thank you, Cranberry. Thank you. You out here in these streets, supplying the streets with what they need in these desperate times.
Like I was saying, like, if you only have played Persona and you think that's all Atlas makes, sure, this is like a breath of fresh air and all that jazz. So if you played Devil Survivor, Mainlight SMT, Digital Devil Saga, Soul Hackers, Devil Summoner, those games. Like, this isn't really much new from Atlas.
So, why do you personally think it's so high? Because I feel like maybe if any other game might have pulled this off, it would have been rated like maybe low 80s, mid 80s. Why did Metaphor go the extra mile here?
I think people just wanted something to scratch that Persona itch, honestly.
I think it more so. Not more so, but on top of what Bao said, I think what also heavily assists Metaphor into getting into the realms of Persona 5 is one, it was heavily advertised and people were getting flued out for it, right? That's firstly. And secondly, and probably my biggest case, it has that presentation style that rivals Persona 5. So even someone who is on the outside trying to see what's so cool about the game, if all you have is you looking at the game, then you're going to be pleased, and I feel like there's a decent amount of people in this in the industry that absolutely love a very good presentation from a UI and stylistic standpoint, and it seems that like Atlas has hit like a pot of gold with that with this strategy / formula post Persona 5, because like Bao has said, Atlas has made a ridiculous amount of games under the SMT umbrella before Persona. And Persona, you could say the style started around Persona 3 at earliest, right? So it's like every game that came out before and after Persona 3 that wasn't Persona 4 or Persona 5 didn't really have that heavy stylistic swagger oozing off of the screen at you. And it seems like when they do that, that's where the big success seems to come into play, regardless if all of the mechanics that are behind that game, like Bao is saying, isn't that much different than all of the games that were doing it that don't have that style. It seems like this is the extra little spice that seems to be throwing a bunch of people who are giving it 9, people who would have given it maybe a 7 or 8. Now they're giving it a 9 or a 10 just off of that. Now I could be wrong. Maybe Cranberry is onto something, and it actually does do mechanics that are significantly better than everything Atlas has ever done. But from from someone who's just looking on the outside and looking and comparing what Metaphor is doing, and comparing to what Persona 3, 4, and 5 in particular has done, and compared it to every other SMT game under the umbrella, what do I see that is the, for lack of a better word, culprit? It's that. It's the presentation and style. That's my 2 cents.
It's interesting because from the little I played, the presentation is for me personally, it's borderlining on visual vomit. Like sometimes it's too much. It's like I didn't need.
I can understand that. I got used to it though.
Yeah, I feel like I will get used to it after a while because I'll be playing it for like 80 hours or something like that. I'll get used to it.
Especially when you first get to the city, it's like you're just bombasted with so much in your face.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it might have been trying too hard, but I'll probably get used to it. I don't know if I'll end up thinking it's a negative by the time I get to the end of the game, but we'll see.
My biggest gripe with this
essentially
game,
the Demon Slayer effect, where if there's one thing Demon Slayer has going for it, it's its art style and it's animation, right? Because nobody cared about the manga when the manga was a thing. Sorry to cut you off, Bao. You can go.
my biggest gripe with this game is actually the fact that it has really played it safe where I'm at. It's like I'm pretty sure I'm like 70%, maybe 80% done with the game, and there's only been like one moment story-wise where I was like, didn't see that coming, or that's taking a risk. It's very, very by the books for a plot. Like no real surprises, except for like that one thing I talked about. And even then, it's like nothing really emotionally gripping happens in this game that would really hit you unless you just haven't played many RPGs, I'd say.
Yeah,
But
that's why if you
that could
played
just be
Persona
amazing.
5 and played a whole bunch of RPGs, like how can anything here surprise you? But we'll see. I
It's
haven't
like
seen the story.
Yeah,
I
but
really wanted
the thing
Alice
is,
to
does
go
it
balls to the wall crazy with this plot because this is a new setting for them, and they really, really did not.
does it have to really go balls to the wall though? I think for the most part, especially with regards to with a lot of developers right now going under, shutting down studios and all that kind of stuff, and with the reception that they got with Persona 5 and Royal and all that kind of stuff, I think playing it safe right now makes sense, especially if you can survive, your studio can survive, and you can make more.
That's
And then
true.
once you do have that stability, then maybe you take the risk, because you take the risk and you make something like Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne or something that wasn't like widely received as like, oh my god, this is exactly what everyone will play because it's so difficult. I think now is the perfect time to play it safe with their series, because they've garnered so much appraise and appreciation from their game with Persona 5. It's kind of like with Yakuza, like what they're doing now.
That's all true, but what I'm specifically saying, if you played SMT4, you'll know what I mean when I say this. There is no Tokyo moment or anything remotely in the stratosphere of that in this game. Like I said, if you played SMT4, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That moment where everything you thought you knew is flipped upside down, and now you're so interested to see like what the heck is really going on.
Okay.
Also,
It's
speaking
just
of playing it safe, though,
very safe
was
game.
it, wasn't Soul Hackers as well also kind of a safe game?
Kinda.
Yes, but that was more from a gameplay point with that one, if anything.
But again,
I think it's
dungeons, repetitive.
Safety is good sometimes. I'm not saying it has to be, or every game has to be bad. Especially look at the sales of this game. This is good press. This is good publicity for them as a publisher. It gets a lot of people into their type of games. You've got so many people buying this game now. When it's sort of like, baby's first JRPG to a certain extent. It's like if you play it safe and you don't do too much new or just outside of the realm of what everyone would expect.
You say that, but here's actually an issue with that. Before release, before we even knew this game had the proper title metaphor, back when it was Reef Fantasy, Alice did a bunch of like developer interviews and all that about how they wanted to re-examine, redefine the fantasy genre and blah blah blah. And there's nothing even remotely close to that in the final product of this. It is a very much by the books, just fantasy game.
But again, maybe they want to do it in the next game. Maybe maybe Metaphor 2. Who knows? Maybe maybe it's a long game. Get people in early, and then they stick it out for game number 2 or whatever the series.
I think that should have been that game. We shouldn't be looking forward to Metaphor 2. This should have been the game that they,
Yeah, but the thing is that if they took the risk with this game, right, and this turned out to, maybe the risk was not the best risk to take at that particular point in time, then at the end of the day, this game doesn't sell as well as it does. People aren't talking about it as much as people are talking about it now. And again, we are living in a day and age where studios are being shut down one after the next. Publishers are closing their doors, and they're downsizing and so forth. I think playing it safe is the smartest bet they could have made at this particular point in time. Especially for people who played Persona 5. Most of the people come into this are people who probably played Persona 5. At least and a lot of people came in for 5 as well. Like my missus' first JRPG was Persona 5, and she loved it. And then she transitioned from Persona 5 to other JRPGs. And I'm sure when she sees this, she's gonna be like, "Oh wow, I want to play this as well."
So it's supposed to be only for casuals. Like we the.
I'm not saying it's only gonna be. It should only be for casuals. That's like saying only casuals enjoyed Persona 5. That's not what happened. And you yourself, Shadow, said you said you're loving this game as well, Shadow. So like, I don't think it's just for casual.
Did we have a super chat?
Another one?
Yeah, it was a green one.
Oh, we have one from Ricardo saying, damn, I'm late. I was playing some Fantasio as well. I will admit, difference I noticed is that my health could be in the red and I still have hope I'll survive. I mean, because in Metaphor, when the main character dies, it doesn't just fade to black. It doesn't game over you like the usual Atlas fanfare.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't do that. I'm not sure if I talked about it before, but I do like the retry option. Like you could just retry a boss.
I heard about that. That
easily.
seems like a really cool like quality of life thing, and I'm sure people are saying that it's not quality of life. It's just making the game too easy. But
it's not even making the
Really?
game too easy. It literally just like you literally press a button and you restart the battle from the beginning.
If anything, if you're willing to use that, it can eliminate consequences for your actions. But
not
that's
really.
up to the
It can't.
individual player.
It starts the battle at the well. All it really
Yeah.
does is
So
it's
if you like hit it, so let's say you hit an enemy that repels fire against you, then in one shot you the next turn, you can just restart that. Yeah, it gets rid of the consequences of your actions.
I mean, like,
Well,
it's technically no different than fucking closing the application and starting up the battle right before you save before the battle, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but
you can just eliminate that process of running up to the boss, going to the cutscene, accepting the cutscene. You can just eliminate that process completely.
Is the retry only for boss battles or is it for any battle?
No, it seems like it's for any battle.
Oh,
bosses and normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't lose.
No, you don't
items.
lose
You don't
items.
lose anything. It doesn't ask you to put the game back on a lower difficulty or anything like that. You just restart the battle as if you reload your save. That's it.
Is this on all difficulty levels or is this just like a specific
all difficulty levels? It's a feature of the game, and I feel like it's so good that it's a feature that I rarely get in any games. It's like a feature that I didn't know I wanted until I got it. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect because sometimes, like, I'm a little bit stubborn when it comes to like boss battles, and like I can see that something is hopeless, and I'm like, I'm just gonna die anyway. But instead of reloading the game, I can just press.
According to Woodkey, retry also keeps weaknesses you discover, which I didn't know because I don't use the retry button.
That's
okay,
kind of okay. Never mind.
Okay, yeah.
Now you fucked it up. Okay.
No, I mean,
you fucked it up.
I think you have to also consider as well. No, granted, I wish this was locked behind maybe a difficulty level. Maybe this is normal, and then you have more difficulties that don't have this or whatever have you. But I think when you consider most of the people who are playing these games now would be in their 30s, 40s, somewhere around that age group. I'm assuming the majority, which people in their 30s, 40s on average, for the most part, probably have kids or something. Probably have really demanding jobs. They're busy people, and when you're busy people and you have a lot of things going on, having something that makes the game a little bit easier for you in the sense, not to make it easy, but essentially like to save you time.
Eliminates tedium. Like
exactly, to eliminate the tedium, because when you're younger, you could go back and play it a million times because you've got nothing going on.
You say all this and yet you still can't save in dungeons, so that kind of defeats that flow of logic.
Well, look, I'm trying to help this game. I'm sorry. Sorry, Alice, I tried.
The biggest thing I learned is that if you retry, you still see the weaknesses, and that kind of defeats the purpose. Then, Lady Pelvic just joined us.
Hi, I just woke up from my nap. I was like, oh shit. I opened up my YouTube app and I saw like live HPMP podcast. I was like, oh shit. So
taking naps in the middle of the day. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
We spoke about this shadow before. Come on, everyone knows that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
but Pelvic, you're here, Pelvic. Tell us your thoughts about Metaphor.
It's a fun game. It's fun, but I came at the party. I'll talk about the retry button. The retry button, let me tell you, I didn't realize how spoiled I was until I started playing stupid SMT Strange Journey. I was like, getting my ass beat. I was like, man, I wish I could just retry instead of just see the game over screen for the nth time, but it's fine. So, yeah, Metaphor is a really fun game. Although I will say, like, okay, this is non-spoiler, right? I assume. Keeping it non-spoiler.
Yeah, not spoiler.
Sounds like a spoiler to me.
Yeah, so it's fine. The game's good. It's a good game. I do wish Atlas was a little bit more adventurous with it. I think it was a little too safe. I think when I played it personally, I was expecting something different. I think the story and world building, story, character and stuff was different from typical Persona games, which was nice. More mature characters and whatnot, but in a different world, a fantasy world, which is cool. But I think something I've learned that I value in games now is something different, something that would have made me have to use my brain in a different way, but it did feel a little bit like fantasy Persona, just a little safe. Yeah, but overall,
So
I
the
still
game
think it's a
didn't
solid game.
really blow you away or anything like that.
Blow me? No, I wouldn't say it. No.
So, we mentioned it earlier, 93 on Metacritic. Why do you personally think that, this game is rated so high if it plays it so safe?
I think people get swept up in the hype. When a new game comes out or a new IP comes out from or like a beloved developer rather. I saw people already calling it Game of the Year or Atlas's masterpiece. Da 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 da.
Magnum Opus. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people just like they say Atlas's new magnum opus, and I'm like, so we're just like immediately disregarding Persona 3, disregarding Persona 4, disregarding SMT 4. To me, I think these are like also really amazing games. Not that Metaphor isn't, but and I think this game uses the building blocks of the previous entries, or previous like Atlas games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to me, it was like they just took all the good stuff and like combined it into one, which doesn't sound bad, right? Like let's take all the good stuff from our previous games and put it into one game. But I think with the part where like they kind of lose a little bit is the like originality. There's something like they just didn't bring anything particularly new.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, oh, they don't have demons anymore. No fusions. Like it's different from Persona, sure. But like obviously it has Persona's DNA. We have like the calendar system. We have social links. We have archetype personas. Whatever you know what I mean. So
Yep.
it's very similar to Persona with a different skin. I think it's still a good game. I don't think it does anything wrong. I just don't believe. I mean, there's like a few things like the retry button. I think was very strange. I don't know. It was a very wild design choice, but yeah, I just don't think it's inherently bad. It just felt lacking the creativity. Like, yeah, just it's weird to say creativity, because I'm like looking at the human on the screen right now, and I'm like, oh wow, like it's kind of cool looking, but lacks the.
Do you think it's
originality,
just
fresh. Yeah.
Do you think it's just a letdown for SMT fans, or is it just that because if it takes the best from every SMT sort of like game, it takes the best from it. And as fans of SMT games, you take let's say for example, you've never played an SMT game before. This is your first game. And you got the best of all of the series. Isn't that a good thing?
I mean, for you, yeah, but not for the first group.
Yeah. So yeah, you're just kind of isolating.
Though, you can't make something that's good for everyone though. That's one of the things.
Okay, but why are you prioritizing casuals, not your fan base?
That's how you. The Final Fantasy.
You risk alienating your fan base, like Final Fantasy, and look where they're at.
Do you think this is going to alienate the SMT fan base though?
No, but your logic you're going with is alienating.
I think so. Maybe
in this specific example, no, but like the example you're trying to use, like prioritizing casuals over your fan base, yeah, you risk alienating them. Do I think Metaphor is risking alienating SMT fans? No. I'm just saying that's a business strategy in general.
No, I get that.
That you have to.
I'm not saying alienate
people, but the thing about it is you kind of need the casuals to get like the most money, because if you just have the hardcore people buying it, it's not enough hardcore people buying games. You need the casual people in there too, and they greatly outnumber the hardcore. So sometimes I could see why some companies might cater to quote unquote everybody, and the hardcore and the casual and the first timers alike and shit. But here's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
So,
again,
I'm thinking,
Metaphor, I don't think it's good.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking to myself that when I play more of this game, I'm gonna feel like Pelvic. I'm gonna feel like
no Shadow, just appreciate it.
I'm just gonna be like, yo, we've been here, we've done that. It's not that big of a deal. I'm honestly gonna be real with you. I can't see myself personally giving this game higher than like an 8.5. Like, I don't think I would land it into a 9 or 10 range at all. I do think that Metacritic score is a little bit too high, but I will play more, and I'll tweet about it and say, you know what, that Metacritic score is on point. I'll say no, it's not on point. I'll make the video and say, you know what, this game is an 8 out of 10 at best. Like I don't know what you guys see in it, but hey, it is what it is. I'll continue playing a little bit more.
Where are you? Just curious.
Literally, like pretty much after this gameplay that's on screen.
Oh, you haven't even started like my favorite arc.
Okay. Yeah, I started I think I got on the writer for the most part. We're going to the first city. Everybody's racing over to the first city. That's as far as I've gotten. I haven't really dived into it deep.
Oh, okay.
I do think that if I do end up thinking of it that way, I do think that maybe this game might set a bad precedent for Atlas, and like Pelvic said, there might not be that much room for originality. They might want to stick with what's safe and what works. Because kind of like what you said, Q, like, oh, Metaphor 2 is going to take a risk. I don't think it would take a risk. I think it's going to look at Metaphor 1 and say, oh, it did this much, it sold this much, it was received this much. Let's just keep doing that.
Something else I should have mentioned. The reason this disappoints me, well, I won't say that. I like the game, obviously, but yes, it is a bit disappointing to me. And part of that is because this is the year we got both Persona 3 Reload and SMT5 Vengeance. And I think those are better than this for me, honestly.
Shit. Really? Wow.
Yeah, keep in mind, I've played those before, so this would have the advantage of being like something fresh.
I've also played those, Bow, but acting like high and mighty. Yeah, I've also played those, and I don't know if I'd say it's better. Like, there are things in Metaphor that I maybe enjoyed more. I have to really think on that, because I really like the lore of like SMT5. Like, that's like so good to me. I really love what they do. I don't know. It's a heavy statement you said there. I'd have to think on it, but I don't think it's a crazy statement though. You know, like it's a big statement, but
yeah,
I understand it.
I might feel the same way after this. I might just like, you know what? I enjoyed Persona 3 Reload a lot more. I enjoyed Shin Megami Tensei Adventures a lot more, especially the soundtrack of Vengeance. Like, come on now. But real quick, Acebreaker, don't you dare put slander on Unicorn Overlord's name. It's not a strong 7. It is a solid 9 out of 10 easily. Unicorn Overlord.
He's thinking at 13 Sentinels. 13 Sentinels is the strongest 6 you'll ever come across.
Make me sick. Don't be slandering my game like that with a 7. All right. But yeah, so real quick, one more thing about Metaphor. Like I said, very strong nominee for Game of the Year. Nobody thought it would be even nominated for Game of the Year, but we see the reception. We see the 1 million sold in like a day. I don't think any JRPG honestly done that. I don't even know. 93 on Metacritic. Do we think that the Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, that not only is this going to be a nominated, but how strong do you think it might get Game of the Year now?
It's not. It's Final Fantasy 7 exists. As long as Final Fantasy exists, it's not happening. Like 7, like I don't think it's gonna be Final Fantasy 7.
I agree.
Game of the Year is
JRPG exists. This is not taking Game of the Year.
What else?
People love them some
year?
Tifa. People love them some Cloud.
Yeah. I do not think it's gonna be Game of the Year.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon Age takes it this year, because this is Jeff Keighley and them guys.
Dragon Age.
I'm just saying, this is Jeff Keighley and the Game of the Year awards. These guys give some very sus games awards.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Normally Bow's wrong of everything, but like Bow's be saying things like Bow says what I'm thinking out loud. It kind of cracks me up. I was like, okay, cool. I also had the same like mental reaction. I was like, Dragon Age, where the fuck did that come from?
It hasn't come out yet. It might be really rated high. We don't know.
Would you be surprised if like IGN and all these other review sites give that game like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, and then users give it like a 2, and then it gets Game of the Year? Like, I wouldn't. That's something that would happen.
But over Final Fantasy, like I'm just like trying to think of all the games that came out this year that would beat Final Fantasy.
Didn't they have like a whole
there's a lot of games that would be
like
Final
production
Fantasy
at the Game Awards for FF7 last year?
Yeah,
or a year
swear
before one of them.
I think they did.
Oh no, the only thing that has potential to beat a Final Fantasy game is anything Kojima, if I'm being honest.
What about Black Myth? Black Myth,
no.
The conversation on Wukong is gone. Like, I don't think people are talking about the game anymore.
No, Wukong is not even going to get nominated. I don't think so.
I think it'll be nominated just because
I'm gonna get nominated because of the
is
Hades
low
spot.
on AAA games.
I think it doesn't
what
get
about-
nominated
To be
because
fair,
it's not.
though, to be fair, you were saying someone said like Wukong came and went. I feel like that's games in general, though. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, I feel like even Metaphor is kind of dying out already. You know, like I,
think
still see some like
Wukong just
Hulk and
scratched
Vertigo.
that Elden Ring itch for people, and that was kind of it. Which is
Mm.
fine for them, but
This
Yeah,
year
yeah, yeah.
blew it, to be honest.
I don't know. There's a difference between a game coming and going. Like it gets a huge reception. People like it for a while, and then it leaving, and then it's talked about it. Then it's coming and going like Fire Emblem Engage. It's kind of a difference between those two. You know?
Fire Emblem
Sorry,
Engage, what's that?
Yeah. What about Astrobot?
Oh, that
After
game
about
is
what
actually
we fucking
That would
got.
be
that has a
phenomenal.
strong chance. I think that has a strong chance, honestly.
Over Final Fantasy. I'm
I don't
sorry.
think
I
Astrobot
think it-
wins Game
again-
of the Year, but it's definitely being nominated.
You
Yeah,
have to consider
nominated.
this. This is not our choice. This is the Game of the Year's picking.
Also,
I
Pelvic,
think that-
didn't
I understand.
Final Fantasy 16
I
come out
understand.
like last year, the year before, and he didn't get anything?
No. I'm not talking about Final Fantasy. I'm talking about Final Fantasy 7. I want to be super clear.
Oh, you should have said so. Just start saying 7.
Oh, okay, fine, sure.
So you think specifically because it's 7, it's gonna
You're 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
people
Really?
I
consider
don't
that
have
the
that
best
much.
game
I don't
ever
have that
made.
much faith in it. Honestly, I don't trust
All
that.
right, yo. All right. Hey, listen, chat. Remember this.
I agree
Has
with
a
you.
JRPG ever won? Has a
Remember,
JRPG ever won Game of the
chat.
Year?
That's
If
all.
any JRPG
That's-
would win, it would be that.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay. So are we
Like it was
so-
a miracle that. Hold on. I have a question? Persona 5 didn't win Game of the Year, right? Or it did?
No, I don't
No.
think
I don't
so.
think so.
2017.
Yeah,
Nah, Breath of the
2017.
Wild
That was Breath of the
Oh,
Wild.
rightfully
Yeah.
so. But okay, all right. No, because I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm trying to think of like the last like weeb JRPG shit that ever won Game of the Year, and the only thing I could think of is like Final Fantasy. Is like the thing that comes closest to that.
When year was that?
Persona-
Final Fantasy game 1 Game of the Year.
7 specifically. 7.
You know what?
At
You
99?
know what? I'm feeling pretty good.
Didn't
I'm gonna put a
7 win?
bet.
Didn't the first? Hold on, wait. Didn't the first part of
In
7
2020?
win?
No, It Takes Two won that year.
Oh my god, it did.
Yeah, that
Wow.
fucking
They don't win. I mean,
Yo.
they don't like Japanese games at the Game of the Year.
That was crazy. Yeah, you're right.
Jeff
You're
Kelly
right.
don't give a shit about no JRPGs.
I'm taking
they
a
don't care
bet.
about
I'm taking
JRPGs.
a bet. I'm taking a bet. $20 bet that Metaphor wins the Game of the Year.
I'll take it. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Whoa, just one person.
Wait. Wins Game of the Year?
Game
Hold
of the
on.
Year. $20.
You think it'll win Game of the Year?
Hey, I'm only
Really?
putting $20 on it. Like I'm not going crazy. About
Yeah, I was
this.
like, your faith is kind of shaky. Like, your faith is kind of shaky, friend.
I think there's a good chance that they're gonna RKO us out of nowhere, and do something different this year. This is gonna be the 1 year an anime weeb game wins the Game of the Year.
There's a good chance that you're high, but I think
If it doesn't win, then fucking part 3 will.
I think if there's an anime weeb game that can potentially get Game of the Year, it's gonna be Dragon Ball. If anything, I don't think it's gonna be Metaphor. I think if there's an anime
I
weeb
don't
game,
see that.
Dragon Ball is
Dragon
definitely
Ball-
taking fighting game of the year. It's gonna take fighting game. There's no way Dragon Sparking Zero.
Yeah, I don't think Sparking Zero will get
Didn't
nominated for
Tekken 8
it.
Yeah.
come this year or was that last year?
That was this year, I'm pretty sure.
If
Tekken
Tekken 8
was
came
the beginning of the year, January. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's
Tekken
Tekken
this
8
year.
Tekken 8 is taking it from Tekken 8 is winning.
All right, that's Metaphor.
I can't wait for next year when Trails the first comes out and it's only Riku being like Game of the Year right here. I'm like looking forward to that. I'm not gonna lie. Riku,
Who made her this
I
way?
support you. I support you.
made it this way.
Listen, I'm not even mad at it. I don't know why. It just came up in my head. I'm not even trying to take shots at Riku. I just, I support Riku's unwavering faith to his favorite series. It's a compliment. Why y'all trying to turn this into a negative?
There was in here. I'll
take
say
it
this.
seriously
I'll
if you
say
weren't
this.
laughing
We had a
at it.
super chat earlier. We had a super chat in here earlier talking about "quote unquote" worst Trails characters,
Are
and
you ratting Shadow out?
oh yeah,
Are you ratting him?
I'm writing them out. So there was a conversation earlier talking about worst Trails characters, and one of Shadow's choices was
if he
Peter
said
Croy.
Olivier, Oh, okay. All right.
Oh
You know
no,
what?
you
He's
said
still
it.
wrong.
someone did say
He's-
Olivier though. Someone did
You
say
did.
Olivier.
They're also
Someone
wrong.
said
They're
it.
also wrong. You know what? Multiple people can be wrong. Did anyone in this fucking chat or not chat? This like on this podcast right now say it? Did Bao say it? Did Bao fucking
Nope.
say it? Olivier says.
Nope.
All right. That was wrong. That was
Who
wrong.
do
I
you
say
think
make sure.
said it?
Okay.
I know that Shadow said it.
It was
I know that Shadow said it, right? Guys?
Yes, he did.
Why do you... All right. We have to put this podcast on hold because now I have to put Shadow in his place. Sir, why do you hate Olivier? What the fuck did Olivier do to you? With the context that I know about. Don't say anything. I
Oh
have to say
no! It
Olivier.
wasn't Shadow that said Olivier.
no,
I
no,
said
no,
David
no,
Croy. No, it was
Nah,
You hated
wow.
Olivier.
First of all, that's like... isn't that like spoiler? Are we just saying that out loud?
No spoilers. No spoilers. Keep it going.
Lord.
All right, yeah, we'll keep it going. We'll keep the podcast on. Next game we're gonna talk about here.
Listen to Riku.
you know-
Lord.
Yeah, speaking of Riku, let's talk
Hi.
about his other game that he
What?
loves, his other franchise that he absolutely can't get enough of. Let's talk about East 10. All right, this game.
Shout out to Falcom for sending me the game.
They sent you the game.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
She made
So,
a little.
yeah.
She did a little unboxing and whatnot. That was cute.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks.
So,
So,
Riku, take us through. This is the latest East game. What are your
East.
thoughts?
Play the latest Weast game.
Yeast infection? What? Okay, go ahead.
Someone
Oh,
actually
Lord.
came in and asked about
Wow. Wow, that was crazy. Yeast infect. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I'm just
So, East 10 Nordics. Pretty great game. I would say I would consider it a top tier Ease game. It is my current game of the year. I think when I was going in, I had a few questions about what it could possibly do to be my number one, and I think my honeymoon phase is finally wearing off. And for me, my personal favorite is I still have Ease 8 and 9 over it. But, and this does hurt me to say, it did knock Members of Society out of the top 3 for me.
Get him out of here. Yo, get him out of here. Dog,
really.
man.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Riku
Members
ain't
Members of
shit,
Society was
bruh.
my number 3.
Bruh,
Wait.
Riku ain't shit, bruh. Get him out of here. Don't fucking be this guy anymore. Dog, get off the pod.
I would say when I was talking about, well, I mean, me and Lady Puffer really don't. It seems like we're the only ones that really love Members of Society. It seems like it's a quote unquote
Nah,
black
don't put just Lady Pelvic, not Riku and no Mo.
sheep. Lord.
Nah.
Okay,
Mm.
don't make me put you on the spot. Okay. The point is,
I'm just go ahead, finish your statement and then we're gonna roll back. Go ahead. Finish your whatever the fuck you're saying. Go ahead.
when I think about Ease 9 and Ease 8, there are certain things that Ease 9 does better than Ease 8, and there are certain things that Ease 8 does better than Ease 9. And I feel like Ease 10 kind of like squeezes in there and does certain things better than the both of them, but the both of them also do things that are better than Ease 10. So now it feels like there's this like three-way tie between the three of them, where they all do things that are better than the other, but they all do things that like, kind of like if they all just did the things that they did the best in one game, it would be great. But it is like one step forward, two step back type of thing. So for me, I feel like the main enjoyment of Ease as a franchise is the enjoyment of exploration. And in my opinion, Ease 8 still does that the best in the entire franchise. In regards to story, which Ease isn't really about, telling anything impressive that you really see outside of your typical JRPG. So that's not saying much, but I do think that Ease 9 is still the strongest from a writing standpoint overall. So that's something that Ease 9 has. And then for Ease 10, before Ease 10 came out, I felt like from a gameplay standpoint, Ease 9 was the one that had the best gameplay. But, it seems like every time Falcom makes a new modern Ease game, it kind of outdoes the previous one from a gameplay standpoint. So this is just naturally following that progression as well. Same thing with graphics, which, I mean, This is the first game using the new engine. It looks very nice. There are certain areas of Ys 10 where some of the environments can look a little muddy in the background, and there's this. They would sometimes use this weird white outline over certain details that I think it could have been, better if they didn't. I don't know why it just randomly does that. It seems like it was like a design choice type of thing, but and I think because of that, I think from a graphical standpoint right now, Trails Through Daybreak is probably Falcom's best looking game, only because of that. But if Ys 10 didn't do that, it would probably be Ys 10, because I can see that from a cell shading standpoint, future Falcon games, and by future Falcon game, I'm talking about the Sky remake. It seems like it's pulling more from what the cell shading techniques of what Ys 10 is doing versus the cell shading techniques of what the later Trails games are doing. So there's that. But yeah, Ys 10 seems to be the best at graphics and gameplay. That's about it. Which it does gameplay really fucking well. I absolutely love it. Is doing some changes that I have been wanting for a hot minute, like for example, the fact that obviously since we're only using 2 characters now, you have one less playable character out of the 3 that you would usually have in these modern Ys games. And one thing that used to bother me in Members of Society Ys 8 and Ys 9 is the fact that when you have your little skill gauge, it's technically shared between all of the characters. So if you're doing your little shortcut attacks, doing your combos, once that skill gauge is up, you kind of have to like do certain things to like fill it back up to like do your skill attacks again, because that's the fun part about the Ys gameplay. What the hell are you doing in this gameplay anyway?
That's what I'm thinking. The same thing. What is he doing?
Wait, what happened?
The gameplay, bro.
He was trying to jump up a hill and he just kept on like
Oh
failing.
yeah, I was trying to see if I can actually get up there. So I was like, can I get
You
up there?
literally all you needed to do was like run around. Anyway.
No, I had to jump up there. I had to see if I could do it.
Brother. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to thought. What I was saying was a cool detail about what Ys 9 does. What Ys 9 did was the fact that you could hold down the melee button and release it and get your some of your SP gauge back, and that was a good way to balance the fact that you're using your skill gauge a lot. And that was one of the main reasons I gave the gameplay of Ys 9 over Ys 8, because you couldn't do that in Ys 8. But what Ys 10 did was that Adol and Karja's SP gauges are separate. So you could be doing a combo with Adol, and if you reach a point where you don't have any SP gauge left with Adol, you could switch to Karja and just start using hers. And whoever is on reserve, their skill gauge is rapidly returns quickly. So you could, obviously you can continuously swap between the two and never really be out of SP gauge, which that would be that you would run into that issue from previous Ys games. You would run out of SP and just be running around either waiting for it to come back up or trying to use some sort of way to get it back up. So that's not an issue in Ys 10. And they did a few other things that made the gameplay a bit more methodical. I know when they said coming into this, they were trying to do this. They were trying to take Ys's gameplay into the, I guess, next step. And I don't think its step is as big as obviously going from what Ys 6 to 7 did, or what 5 to 6 was. But it is a step in the right direction. I think what they really need to do moving forward, though, is to find a way to give the player more skills to hold. Because I feel until they do that, that's just something I feel Tales of just has over them. Running around and getting a ridiculous amount of very cool skills with Adol and Karja is great, but it absolutely sucks that you can only hold 4 of them. and this has been the case since E7. It's been the case in E's Members of Society. It's been the case in E's 9 and 8. It's like we're still only, you still only have 4 to use for Adol and Karja, and it's cool. You can in one of the main features in this game is the fact that you hold down a specific button and they attack as one. They have like a full moveset together and a skill, a list of skills that they can do together. So technically, you have an additional 3 because I think their attack string, you have to be holding down the button. So you don't get 4, you get 3 with them. So that's a total of 11 skill attacks that you can have equipped. And if you compare that to what you had in previous Ease games, that's technically 1 less skill, because if you have 3 characters and they each have 4, that's a total of 4 skill attacks. So you technically have 1 less skill to use in comparison to Members of Society 8 and 9, if we're just going off of number of skills. Like I said, this game probably has like the coolest skills I've seen Adol ever do in the entire franchise. So it absolutely sucks that I can only hold 4 of them. So that was one of my gripes, but it still does a lot of stuff really good. I think the NPCs in this is also probably the strongest we've had so far, because the ones in Ease 8, the castaways, those were really good. And then the same thing with the dandelions in Ease 9. So the fact that they were able to top both of those, I was actually surprised by that. But I guess they probably really had to, since most of the focus characterization wise was on Karja. Like she
I'm starting to see
they
that.
really, yeah, since they don't have like a cast of characters to like really dive into, because I felt like that was one thing East 9.
Wait a minute. Wait. When you say
Go ahead.
that, there's literally only 2 people to play?
Yeah, you're watching the gameplay. The entire game is Adol and Karja.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't.
Yeah,
know that. I was thinking we were gonna get other party members. I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you look at the trailers, they try to advertise the other characters that are there. Those are just NPCs that you get for your ship and whatnot, but they're not playable. None of them. There's a decent. There are some characters I saw throughout the story that could have been a playable character, but I guess they're just not here. But they have a story reason as to why it's only Adol and Karja. I'm not sure if it's a strong enough of a reason, but no, I can see they wrote it in a way where it's a reason you can't debate against, really. But the point is, it's Adol and Karja for the entirety of the game, and you would think that would get boring because of the fact that we're going from technically 6 characters to 2, but moveset wise, it's technically 3, since you combine them together. That's a completely different moveset and a list of skills and whatnot. So you have 3 instead of 6. But like I said, you get so many different moves. I was getting so many different skills and moves and whatnot that it didn't matter. It's still the Ease gameplay. I was still having fun. I know a lot of people which this was actually surprising to me, but I know a decent amount of people, they'll play an Ease game and they'll only use Adol for like 90% of the game. And I'm like, bro, you have like fucking 5 other characters and they're all fun as fuck. Why are you only using Adol? So like,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of like maybe 60% of the game I probably use Adol, and I'm only changing up to hit weaknesses or something like that. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean like
armor.
actually like having characters, changing up characters as you play as normally? Because I just switch up to take advantage of weaknesses. I don't really
I mean, I feel like when I play Ease game, I use all of the characters. I might use Adol just a bit more than the other characters, but I feel like I use all of them for a relatively equal amount of time, because
so like you'll go through a dungeon with just anybody that's not Adol sometimes. Is that what you're saying? Like when you're not hitting weaknesses, you'll switch back to another character and just use them as your main runner. Is that because I don't ever do that in these games. I always stick to Adol and they only change when need to.
I'm with Shadow on that.
That's
I
interesting. I know some people that do that in Tales of as well. They'll only use the main character in Tales of, and to some degree, I can see that. I can see why sometimes, but like once again, I feel like both Ease and Tales of, at least the later Tales of games, they do a decent job making all of the characters feel fun enough for you to not have to only use the main character for the majority of the time. But I don't think it's because the characters are not fun that people are doing it. That's just something that they do. Which is why I don't think it's probably not that big of a deal that there's not that many characters if people are only really using Adult anyway.
Yeah,
You
I think
know?
that's the main. I think people just use Addo when they change up when they see that it's an enemy that they can't just kill easily with Addo.
Yeah, like the boss I see you're fighting right now. One feature that they added is the fact that they basically have this over shield over them, that
Mhm.
armor, and you have to break through that to get to their health. And they built it in a way where Karja has a lot of the armor breaking attacks, and Adol has a lot of the HP dealing attacks for the most part.
Yeah, I kind of
And
realized that. Yeah.
yeah, so like you kind of have to mainly use Karja when the armor's up, and mainly use Adol when the health is exposed. And it's a good dichotomy between the two. I like it, especially coming off of what they were doing since Members of Societa, where it's like, remember the slash, break, and pierce system, which
Mhm.
it was a very simple rock paper scissors thing, but it did get a bit too easy when you just see, oh, this enemy is slash, and you switch to Adol and you just absolutely destroy them. And it's like I'm not saying it got boring after a while, but I'm glad they changed it up for this game. The armor system is a bit more fun. I know on the harder difficulties, sometimes the armor system can be just a little bit doing too much. Like, and I remember I was fighting one enemy, and maybe it was because it was on nightmare difficulty, but I remember one enemy, he put his I think once I got him down to like 60% health. No, I took off his armor. I got him down. I took off about 40% of his health, and then he put his armor back on. And then I took off his armor again, and I brought his health down from 60 to like 40%, and then he threw his armor back on. And I had to take all the armor off again, and then I brought him from 40% down to like 10%, and then he threw his armor back on. I'm like, oh my fucking god! So sometimes it did get a little bit too much, but I think they for the most part, it's good to go. Yeah, I think I've talked about East 10 enough. It's a great game.
Just
Uh,
real quick for
Uh-huh.
East 10, I feel like East is a type of game series since I want to say maybe Memories of Celceta, where it got its true spot in the light. For the most part, people start to know that this is an actual series. This is out here. Maybe that was
Easy,
East
yeah.
8. Yeah, maybe that was
It was
East 8,
East 8.
actually.
Yeah.
So, what do you think East has to do to get further beyond than, a lot of people don't going by Metacritic and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, like, average wise, it's mostly 80s on Metacritic. What does East have to do to, get into the high 80s maybe and go into the 90s?
Yeah, because as far as we know, the highest rated Ease game is Ease 8 at 85, the PS4 version.
Right, yeah.
So,
Seems to be going
which
down
would be like
since.
mid 80s. Yeah, it's been hovering around low 80s, which most of Falcom games hover around low 80s anyway.
Yeah.
What would it have to do? Like I said, I personally think what they have to do is one of my main critiques: give Adol more shortcut attacks. So I feel like that's one of the things that Tales of has from a gameplay standpoint, that it'll always not outdo Ease, but like, you just have more to choose from when you have more slots. And I think that's the main thing, because visually, yeah, they could make it look a bit better and whatnot. Maybe get the graphics up to where the Sky remake is. I think where the Sky remake has the graphics, you should be satisfied from a visual standpoint. Any more than that, you're like, But
What about the gameplay? Because like you just said, you only play as these two, but in other East games you play as like 6 people. Do you think 2 people is the best, or was it better with a bigger party?
I think, for me personally, I like a party. I'm always someone that's gonna choose quantity. And you could probably say, oh yeah, this one's quality over quantity. I think when you have a roster of characters that are all likable, in my opinion, that was the cast of Ease 9. I would take the cast of Ys 9 over just at all in Karja. Because even though Karja's fucking great, I can't.
She's kind of annoying to me. I don't know. I don't like her voice.
She definitely has this like
Bitchy. Yeah.
tomboy tsundere thing at first. She grows onto you later on, and then she opens up and probably becomes one of Ys's best written characters. But at first, yeah, I can definitely see that. At first, she's essentially just Karna from Memory Soseta combined with what was the Laxia from Ys 8. Because remember, at first Laxia was the same way. She was like kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
I mean, because you saw her titties, but like,
her,
yeah, standoffish, yellow hair-ish, big booty character. And it's like, here comes Karja, essentially doing the same thing. So it's like I could see her. I know someone said she's a Laxia clone with less booty. I'm like, Lord.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think, like I said, later on she definitely like supersedes all of them. In my opinion, I put her even over Donna as like most probably best girl in Ys. But it definitely took it wasn't like that from jump. Let me talk just a little bit about the ship gameplay, because I know some people, I've seen a decent amount of people in the community say that they're either half and half on it. One side would be like, oh yeah, it's enjoyable, and then some halves are like, this literally ruined the game for me. Like, this is like a bottom tier Ys game because of this. So the boat gameplay starts off slow. I don't think anybody will deny that. Even me at first, there were when you're doing the boat gameplay and you first get out there, and not the first messed up dinky ship that you're just using to get from point A to point. When you first get your first ship and it doesn't have any upgrades, it's slow, and it takes a decent amount of time before you can upgrade some of the stuff to get more of a boost. I could see how some would get turned off by that, but I think it's in the similar light of like how Ys 9 took a little bit to get started. If you played Ys 9, Ys 9 had arguably the slowest start of any Ys game, and that's not something you want to have in an Ys game, like especially in comparison to Trails, which Trails is already a franchise that is a slow burn. So like when you come to Ys, you kind of come for something that's the opposite of that. Most Ys games have been fast paced in like damn near all aspects. So I feel like that was something that turned people off about Ys 9, and that's something that has been turning people off about Ys 10 since the Japanese release, is the ship gameplay. But I think if you stick with it, it grows onto you. I know some people are like, I don't like the controls or whatnot. I didn't have an issue with any of that. Like I said, the only gripe I had was like at first it did start off a bit slow, but you can use some of the wave currents to move a bit faster, and they recharge your boost. But it's good. I think it has a decent amount of upgrades and gameplay mechanics associated with it, and it has this how in Ys 8 and Ys 9 you had the raids that you had to go and do.
Mm-hmm.
Have their equivalent in Ys 10, and it's associated with the ship gameplay, where you go through waves of enemies, and then you'll like invade a specific island and take it over not in a raid type of fashion, because they have something else where you can invade someone's ship and it'll do a little mini raid, but then they have another thing where you will do a ship gameplay as part 1, and then part 2 you'll invade a specific like ship base fort and take it over, and then that's kind of like their equivalent to the raids. And I thought that was well done. I never got bored of those. At first they did start off a bit basic, but the later ones got really good, even especially from a level design standpoint.
Okay.
I feel like Ys 10 has a lot to offer. There's a lot to offer, and I'll also end it with this. That final boss is probably the most epic thing I've seen in an Ys game. And I can see, if you play Daybreak, that Daybreak and Falcom, them moving over to this new engine, they've been doing a decent amount of good fight choreography and animation when it comes to moving over to this new engine. And a lot of the story bosses in Ys 10, you can definitely fucking see it. They've been doing some very good, cool things, and yeah, that final boss it was fucking epic. It was great for me. But yeah,
Okay. I will say about Ys. I don't know if this is a slight against Ys or is it me? It could be me, but actually, you know what? It's me. I'm starting to get a little bit of brain rot, and I'm playing Ys. I'm playing the battle system, and I'm just like, this is a little bit
Bunga
slow.
bunga.
Yeah, this is a little bit slow for my taste. I was like, I'd rather be playing something else. I want something that's a little bit more fast paced, a little bit more simpler, and a little bit more smoother. I'd rather be playing Zenless Zone Zero right about now.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, you know what? That game is it's this close to getting me. It's about to get me. I'm about to become a regular in that game. I don't want to, but it's about to happen.
I know. Yeah, I've seen some people who like are really. I have a friend who is like very heavy into Zenless Zone Zero, and I think if there's two things that three things that Zenless Zone Zero apparently does very well. It's action gameplay.
Yep.
It's cell shading and / animation choreography, and obviously it's waifus. I think those are the three main things it has going for it. Apparently, if you ain't there for those three things, then honestly, just get the fuck out respectfully, because there really ain't shit else there. Like I heard the story isn't worth paying attention to. The characters.
Yeah, it's a mobile game, gotcha game. Stories, nobody pays attention to really the stories on those things, unless it's like
you're there,
like that. But like,
yeah, you're there for the flair, the fan service,
exactly.
and the gameplay.
Flair, the
Apparently,
dynamic gameplay. That's what it does good. And I was trying to play it. I was trying to play Ys, and then I went to Zenless, and I was like, damn, this feels so much better. This feels so much smoother. I'm like, why am I going back to slow Ys? I don't know, but I'm getting brain rot here.
I think, like I said, you know how some of these action RPGs are. They start off, they don't really have much for you, but as soon as you start unlocking more, you get a bunch of stuff. And I feel like Ys is that franchise. I remember having that feeling when I first started Members of Sosetta. I remember having that feeling when I first started Ys 8. I remember having that feeling when I first started Ys 9. And the same, I could say the same thing for Ys 10. Like I said, those later skills are some of the best skills I've ever seen Outall do. So it's like, I wouldn't count it out just yet. I also think the story is it's worth it. I would say it's worth it. By the time you finish the final boss, you're like, yeah, this might be a top Ys game for me. So I say just stick with it.
Okay, I'll stick with it and see what's up.
But if you're juggling it with Zenless Zone Zero, that might be difficult. So you might have to do something about that.
I don't know. I haven't really gotten into Zenless Zone Zero. I have to get a certain character in Zenless Zone Zero, and then I'll.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's that's that whole gotcha shit going on.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to a game that I know Bob wants to talk about. He really enjoys when this series comes up on the podcast. He loves it absolutely. He loves it almost as much as Blake does. Let's talk about the latest release in Sonic franchise.
Let's go.
Let's talk about Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. The latest Sonic game is not like it's a remaster, right? For the most part, with just Shadow added.
It is a remaster expansion game.
Remaster expansion. I guess. Honestly, to me, it just feels like a collection. Like it's like I have the Mega Man collections because it's got it's basically two separate games.
Yeah, it's definitely just a teensy bit above expansion. I think expansion might be just a teensy bit disingenuous, so I take that back. I agree with Blake. You can definitely consider this like a dual collection game. One is a remaster and one is a new game that you're getting. That's definitely a better description for the game.
Like a dual pack of sorts.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was surprised when the game was only $50. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's only $50.
It's so funny when Sega will be like, oh, they'll make this $50, and then they released Sonic Superstars last year and it was like 70 or something stupid like that.
It was 60, but yeah, it's just still that. Jesus Christ, I agree with you.
It was like because the thing is like Sega knew it was like people love Generations. Sega knew for a fact that people would have bought this game regardless. So the fact that they had it at an affordable price speaks very. I don't understand what speaks volumes. It's just strange why they had superstars sent that shit out to die because that game was already hit or miss, and then they had it at fucking $70 or $60.
So Blake, what do you think about Sonic Cross Shadow Generations? Well, what's the deal here,
Bro? So this game is pretty darn good. This is basically a sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog, which I wasn't really expecting going into it. I mean, even if it is just about Shadow the Hedgehog, but the gameplay is based off of the Frontiers engine. So it doesn't play at all like Generations. It plays like a modern Sonic game. So Generations is largely untouched. They did like a rewrite for some of the scripting that kind of actually contextualized a little bit more of the Generations plot, which I kind of liked. But yeah, the Shadow content is all new stuff, I shouldn't say all original assets, because there's like a few stages that I kind of felt like were just there because they had the assets to reuse. And it was cheaper to do so, which is fair. But yeah, Shadow feels amazing to control in this game. He's got his little chaos control gimmick where when you have destroyed enough enemies, he will essentially fill his little gauge. You use that, you can stop time. There's a bunch of different shortcuts you can take using that. Just an example, like on Rail Canyon, there's these trains that blow up tracks, but if you stop time before they can destroy the tracks, you can actually take the tracks to have a quicker shortcut. And it's just thought like that put into the level design that it feels like Sonic Team hasn't done in a very long time. It feels like they really learned and like kind of honed their sense from like the stuff that they learned in Frontiers Open Zone. As we remember, Rico and I both kind of felt the same, that cyberspace was like the weakest part of Frontiers. But for the Shadow, it's basically all cyberspace levels, but these levels are thought out, they're well put together. They're pretty decently lengthy too. Like they're like when you're going through them. Yeah.
Because obviously I haven't played the Shadow portion yet. I want to play through all the Sonic Generation stuff. So, question about how in the cyberspace gameplay in Sonic Frontiers, Sonic felt way more stiff in that gameplay than he did when he was running around. Does Shadow feel more stiff than he does when he's running around his hub, or do they feel relatively or exactly the same?
To me, he feels like the same, like exactly the same. Which is a good point because I guess in Sonic Frontiers case, Sonic felt different because you had like the whole skill tree and like leveling up, and you could also tweak like your stats in the settings, like if you wanted like more turn or whatnot, but you couldn't do that for cyberspace, which is kind of what led to that disconnect. But Shadow feels great. I love the selection of levels. My only like gripe that I had with this game is just that Sega, because of like the way Sega markets things, they had pretty much shown everything that was in the game before it had come out. There wasn't really a whole lot of surprises to be had. There's still a few cool things to go into. But yeah, it was just, I kind of wish they kept a little bit more to their chest, but the game isn't super, super long. I think it took me, I streamed the whole thing on launch day, as y'all know. Shadow was in the chat. God bless Shadow. It took me, I want to say 4.5 hours to beat Shadow's campaign, and then 2.5 hours to beat Sonic's campaign. So
really?
It was, yeah. So and we already knew it was going to be kind of short because they said that it was going to have as much content as Generations. And I just got through Generations quicker because I grew up playing that game, so I knew that game like the back of my hand. But yeah, overall, I'm very satisfied with the content here, and I'd say that it's definitely worth your time. We got a super chat from Ace Breaker real quick saying Shadow Generations is better than Bowser's Fury. As it should be. Let's not kid.
Oh wow,
bro. Also, the fact as well that IGN gave this game a 9. That I woke up that morning and I was like, "What the fuck going on over here, bro?"
Gave it a 9. That is insane. I've never
like
seen
that's huge for IGN, bro.
I think it has more so not to take any credit away from Sonic Generations, but I do think it has more so to do with the reviewer than it does the site. But yeah, go ahead.
So I mean, if that's the case,
reviewer is a Sonic fangirl.
But yeah, she really likes it. It seems like if it was anyone else at IGN that was doing the review, they're gonna
give it a 7 and move on.
Yeah, give it the typical 7 and move on. So everyone's kind of like,
bro, just put her on all the Sonic reviews, bro. I'm fine with this. Because it seems like she cares. Fucking did you guys see the Eurogamer review? They gave it something stupid like like a 5 out of 10 or something, and they were like, Shadow Generations is an amazing game, and it's just so good. But honestly, the fact that it's packaged with Sonic Generations is such a disservice. This game is so incredible. Why is it packaged with Sonic Generations? I hate Sonic Generations. 5 out of 10. Like, that shit makes no sense to me whatsoever. But there's always got to be some goofball on a Sonic review, because Sonic brings out the goofiest their fucking reviewers.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Damn, 9 from IGN. I'm still surprised over that.
Yeah, nonetheless, it's still surprising.
People are tilted because, of course, they're comparing the 9, and they gave Sparking Zero a 7. They gave they gave Mario, they gave Bowser's Fury a fucking a 7 as well. So people are slightly tilted.
That's crazy. How are you gonna give Sonic a 9 and give Dragon Ball a 7? That's
wild.
Insane. That's wild. Not to say that Generations doesn't deserve it, but it seems pretty crazy on paper when you look at it.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're giving Sonic X Shadow Generations the 9 for all of the love and care the game does justice for that franchise.
Okay, I see where you're
but then you don't do that for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which, how many Dragon Ball games has there been in all of existence?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're pushing the 3 digits. But
probably,
the point is, this one probably does that franchise better than all of the games that we've ever had. And I think, there's definitely more Dragon Ball games than there is Sonic games, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so it's like, no.
Yeah, let's not even go into the fact that, like, Sparking Zero gave you what if scenarios, and it gave you like Gohan Black and shit. So it's just like, I don't even. How is that?
I'm not gonna say anything about the what ifs, because that's been done before in previous Dragon Ball games. But
has it?
Like I said,
yeah,
it has. Yeah,
and which ones?
That's how we got Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
Yeah, Raging Blast. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Raging Blast has done it. As far as I heard, Tenkaichi 3 may have done it, and I know Xenoverse does that too.
Budokai 3.
Yeah, Budokai 3.
Yeah?
So that's So that isn't a new feature for Dragon Ball. But like I said, I'm only talking about the amount of care and fan service that this game does in particular, in comparison to every Dragon Ball game before. That in itself was just, and the fact that this isn't just some game they farted out for, just to get a Dragon Ball game out there. Because we've had, I would say personally, before Xenoverse, that's kind of what they've been doing for a long time. Ultimate Tenkaichi and Raging fucking Come Blast and shit. All of that crap was just like, they were just trying to get a Dragon Ball. They were just trying to get a Dragon Ball. Just get a Dragon Ball game out, keep it moving. But like, yeah, this isn't one of those games. So like, the fact that all you could muster up was a fucking 7. Fine, give me that reviewer's name.
And about to take a road trip. Yo, let me go on that plane.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
Just want to talk. We just want to have a conversation real quick. That's it. So yes, I don't know if I'm gonna get Shadow Generations here, because like I'm surprised it's so good, because like it was obviously, I felt like leading up to it was like a cash grab because the Sonic movie is coming out soon, or it's already out. I don't really know.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, they're in terms of like capitalizing on their Fearless Year of Shadow campaign, I feel like they've actually done Shadow like really, really good justice so far this year.
Because wasn't there like a TV show with Shadow that came out this year too, or?
Oh, you're thinking of Dark Beginnings.
Dark Beginnings, yes.
Okay,
which is another incredible thing. It's like a 3-episode like anime prologue to the game, and that's also super incredible.
Yeah, so it's probably the best choreography fight scenes we've seen in anything Sonic ever.
Okay. So yeah, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, 80 on Metacritic as of right now. Pretty high for a Sonic game. Seems like Sega
I don't think.
is out
what
here.
did Blake say? Sonic hasn't gotten an 80 on Metacritic since Sonic Adventure
20 years. Adventure 2, I think. Yeah,
Sonic Adventure 2. I thought Frontiers got
Frontiers couldn't even get into a green.
Yeah, because of fucking Digital Trends gave it like a 1 out of 10. Because he had to go to therapy to play a Sonic game or some shit.
Before that or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay,
couldn't even
it's
get
at
into the green
70.
shadow.
Okay, it's at 70.
Yeah,
God damn.
it dropped even lower. The point is, yeah, and Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast. When did that come out, Blake? 1990, like 9 or 8 or some shit.
That's the year I was born.
Jeez, Sonic hasn't gotten an 80 on Metacritic since Blake has been a sperm cell. Insane.
All I'm saying is that it's a good time to be alive. And I can't wait for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie 3 this year, because we already know Shadow is going to be
You're a
super
Shadow
dope in that
fan.
as well.
You're
I am a Shadow fan.
Yes.
And I've only found out recently that for some reason you prefer Silver and Sonic to Shadow. So I don't know what you
No, no,
want.
no.
That's what is what I say.
Team Sonic over here. Team Sonic.
It's a close. I'm not saying it's like a fucking mile. Like I said, we already know the reason why I like Silver, because he's basically just Trunks the Hedgehog, and I like Shadow said I'm just Team Sonic all the time, all day, every day. That doesn't mean I hate Shadow. I still love Shadow a lot. So like
think
it's
Shadow-
like
I've always been Team Vegeta, and I mean Shadow is basically just Vegeta. So
Vegeta the Hedgehog, and Knuckles is fucking Piccolo.
All right.
Knuckles
Let's move on here. Pelvic, are you there? No, she is not here. All right. What else can we talk about then? Because I need her for a romancing saga, and I don't have anybody else here.
well, I see you got Pokemon leaks in the title.
Oh yeah, Pokemon leaks. We want to talk about that real quick. Listen,
Now, which part of the Pokemon leaks do you want to go into?
let's just
The good part.
what's the good part?
Riku part?
So does anybody have any like real detailed information about these Pokemon leaks? Because I just know that, you know, when I was growing up and I was playing Gold and Silver, I picked Typhlosion Cyndaquil as my starter.
Oh no, he's
Yeah.
a Typhlosion fan.
Oh
And
man,
that
he
was
overgrown the fuck up.
and the allegations that I'm hearing with Typhlosion is just
The-
not my Typhlosion. All right.
Someone
Alright.
told me about these leaks, right? And then told me, "Oh, Q, it's gonna change how you think about Typhlosion. It's gonna hurt you and all this sort of crap." I was like, "Look, this is some kind of headcanon shit. I read all the stuff. I've read it all, but that Typhlosion that from the leaks and stuff like that wasn't my Typhlosion. So it's all
Wasn't my
good.
Typhlosion.
Bro sounds like a
Wasn't
protective
my-
father.
It just wasn't my.
Like not my Typhlosion. My Typhlosion did all that. No, not my Typhlosion. Tell you
That's
right now.
someone
That's somebody else's. All right. That's somebody else's.
That's a
child, all right?
Typhlosion, but that Typhlosion doesn't speak for the race.
All right.
Oh,
But it is kind of crazy how like there are just like I was gonna say fanfics, but these aren't technically fanfics, are they? They're like
No, they're officially in the
There's-
Game
yeah,
Freak
there's-
database.
There's a what did some of the fanfics say? There's a blurred line. There's a you can say the same thing for this. There's a blurred line between fanfic and official
Oh.
canon stuff that this content like lays on.
all I'm saying is if we can doing this with Typhlosion, if we're doing this with Slack Kings and
Slacking
other
is
ones,
wild. The slacking
bro,
one was
what-
wild.
what are they
And the
doing
auxiliary
with
shit? Oh my
characters?
gosh.
Yeah, artillery. What are they doing with
Lapras.
Pokemon like freaking God of Guaya, Lopunny?
No.
What do you think
Lopunny.
those stuff have?
Stop.
it's not what are they doing?
Oh, now
What
she
is
comes
Riku doing with it?
What do you mean now I come back?
Where were you when Shadow needed you most?
Oh, what happened? See, you got
Or-
okay, so I'm not gonna lie. What happened was is so people were going on, it was like East and then Dragon Ball. I was like, they're not gonna mind if I like
Lord?
play some
Yeah,
SMT.
It's cool. It's
SMT
cool.
here.
I get it. I get it,
So-
pal. You're not interested in those games. That's fine. That's not a big deal.
So that's what I'm
Um,
saying. I just vanished, and like it was a story bit. So I was like, I'm gonna mute myself so I can like listen to what Mastema has to say, and then come back. So what
Mastema.
I hear we're
Wait.
talking about Mastema, your favorite angel.
So you went
The
back to
best
Vengeance?
angel.
I
No,
think
he's
playing,
in Strange Journey.
Oh, Strange Journey. Okay, my fault. Anyway,
You are playing that horrible game.
yeah, I kind of forgot about it. Why does Shadow have wings? Anyway, we were talking about the Pokemon leaks.
I heard about that. You were mad about Typhlosion. Yeah. I was,
yeah,
and your fanfics, the fanfics, not really fanfics.
they're not fair fix.
Yeah.
They justify
Yeah.
people like Riku, knowing that they
No.
that there are definitely places where God of War has been with humans. I'm just saying that.
Yep. Sure. Okay,
Hey.
but to be fair, wasn't there a game where like a man married a Pokemon already? Like that was like already like, in a game. No,
Was it?
like
No,
One,
games you can do that.
like,
I think it was one of. I think I know what you're talking about. And they changed that for like the English version to.
oh,
I
did
think
they?
some of the dialogue that was said, they ever so slightly changed it. So it's.
I have to go back to it because I thought a Pokemon did like in a mainline game where it was like, yeah, I married this Pokemon or whatever. Sure, it wasn't as we'll say grapey, as the others, but
Whoa.
like it was more, I censored it for YouTube. Okay, I said grape. Okay, but like no, but because like
Great.
I just looked it up. It was in Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, they changed it in our version.
But I
Yeah.
am right though that it is they did marry though. Like in the Japanese version, they definitely use like marriage, wedding, like
Yeah.
together.
Mm.
Okay, see, I'm not fucking. They changed it, but like I'm not wrong. That's all. Just had to,
Yeah.
had to let y'all know.
So
Yeah, obviously this is content that we should have never laid eyes on, but now it's out there. I do think some of the more interesting stuff was like the origin of the creation of everything in the grand scheme of the Pokemon lore. Diving into all of that, Arceus turning into what was it, a woman, and laying with a man,
Yeah.
and essentially alluding to the fact that Pokemon technically to some degree have some human DNA within them, if that is the origin story of everything, which obviously all of this content isn't officially in a Pokemon game, so people are like, well, this shit isn't canon technically, so I'm not counting this. But then they have certain symbols in actual Pokemon games that directly correlate to some of the symbols that were shown off in some of this data. So it's like, is it though? Is this actually like the true origin stuff and they just didn't tell us? But
It comes down
I'm
to
going-
headcanon, Riku. It's
I'm
all
going to
about
say
your
I'm going to
headcanon.
say this. If it's not in an official Pokemon game released to the public, it's not canon. So yeah. Just leave it at that. It's just like scrapped content or unofficial content, just like any other JRPG or stuff that you would see, stuff that they would have done, but they didn't.
So the thing I find the most interesting from these leaks is that we actually got confirmation of why Pokemon games have taken a nosedive. And it's actually because of Gen 1ers, believe it or not.
really?
Interesting.
So back when Pokemon Black and White came out, there was no old Pokemon.
Oh
up
yeah,
to
that.
the post game. And people got really pissed about that because they couldn't use their precious Charizards and Psyducks and blah, blah, blah. And we found out from a leaked staff meeting that they listened to the voices of people here in the West, their words. And so from that point on in Gen 6 and onward, they included Gen 1 Pokemon in some capacity. Because Gen 6, they straight up gave you a Gen 1 starter. Generation 7, they had regional variants for the first time, which are like 90% from Gen 1, and so on and so on and so on. And also, we found out that Gen 6 had like half of its region cut, which is also the region with the least amount of Pokemon added ever. So Gen 6 just got shafted, which makes so much sense in hindsight.
Gen 1 supremacy, I don't care.
I'm half on this because I agree with Lady Pelvic. Fucking Gen 1 peak, and then Gen 2.
Gen 2
Oh
is
my god,
peak,
peak.
actually. Gen 2
You know?
is actually peak, but
Gen 1 and Gen 2, they're both peak to me. Point is, it is kind of. I do think the generations moving to the next generation, you should be focused on the new generation that you're on, holding on to like the previous generation. As we can see in what Bao is saying, it has held back future overall Pokemon projects. Obviously, looking in hindsight, looking at Black and White, I think it was a good idea to make a Pokemon game that has 100% new Pokemon, but people, like Bao said, wanted their Charizards and their Squirtles and whatnot. Where are my Charizards and my Squirtles? Like, do you want a new Pokemon game with new Pokemon, or do you just want Fire Red 2?
I will say that I was part of those people that wanted all new Pokemon. They listened to people like me, hardcore people, and was like, I was really appreciate that Black and White had a whole bunch of new Pokemon.
I also
wasn't-
liked that too.
Oh,
So-
and also keep in mind, Black and White was the most new Pokemon we ever had, and Gen 6
Yeah.
was the least. And also, Mega Evolution was supposed to be in Black and White too, but they pushed the idea back for
What?
Gen 6 because of the reception to Black and White 1 here in the West.
Wow. I honestly feel like Pokemon is fine the way it does. Like 8 Gym Badges, Elite Four Champion, some stuff in the post game. I'm like, fine, just keep doing that. I have no problem with that.
You say that, but we don't really get post game content anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
Unless
We
you
get,
count
we
as
get
expansions.
expansions. We get expansions now. We got Super.
Got a super chat from Night Fear with $5 super chat saying Lapras can learn the move Charm and Alluring Voice, so I don't think that guy had the power to resist. Okay, but what about the Octillery?
Ooh. Did the
Look.
artillery give consent?
Bro,
He tossed
Hey,
it back
I
in
mean,
his seat.
according to the story, the Octillery came back for more.
no. According to the story, he went back to the same spot and the Octillery was still there, and he did it again. And then
No.
the Octillery came to him in a dream.
The Octillery wouldn't have shown up.
What?
For round 2. In
Couldn't
round 3,
move. It was paralyzed.
paralyzed.
Whoa.
Your Pokemon.
So are we saying that the Lapras charmed the person and then you used his alluring voice, so the person didn't give consent technically? Is
If
is
that
what
makes
we're
you
saying?
feel better.
Yeah, that's my headcanon, you know.
So try again about Typhlosion.
Listen.
Sorry, let's stop talking about Typhlosion. Typhlosion is all good. Let's
So
talk about all them
insecure
other
about your
stuff.
precious baby Typhlosion.
I'm
the
just
worst
saying.
one, the
let's-
worst one to me is still the Slack off and slacking stuff. That's the
Exactly,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh,
why
that one-
are we
that
worried
was
about
like the
Typhlosion?
Yeah, the Typhlosion.
Why?
stuff,
Because
there was-
all you people been sucking off Typhlosion when Feraligator's the better Gen 2 starter. It just is what it
Bullshit.
is.
No.
You don't see
As long as
Feraligator
we're
going doing
stomping out
this shit.
Meganium. Whoa.
Yeah, because
As long as we're
Feraligatr
stomping
didn't
out
get caught.
Meganium is
Yeah,
the only one
Meganium's
that's
ass.
worth, that's worth the slander. Typhlosion
I
and
actually like
Feraligator.
Meganium over Typhlosion.
No, you're retarded.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
I took Meganium to a Pokemon battle once, and that thing
No.
lost me a battle.
Meganium is
sucks.
fucking cancer.
It is a little booty butt cheek water.
I don't think it's that bad, but like I don't dislike Meganium. I think it's fine.
I
I
dislike
didn't know it was so hated until like recently.
Meganium is garbage.
It's going to get a new form in Legend ZA, and you're all going to come
Ew.
crawling back to the Meganium. thing.
Crawling back when we never was there in the first place.
Who is you?
Feraligator and Typhlosion have peak designs. You have that fire collar. You have this the
The
badass stuff.
swinging
that
Typhlosion is cool. I don't care for regular Typhlosion.
Now I'm not gonna lie. When
Typhlosion
Typhlosion
is cool.
You
got
didn't
like
care
a
for
3D
his-
model, I didn't like that because it didn't have.
Oh, everyone
the
kind of hated
fire.
that. Yeah.
I didn't like the fire that wasn't on his back. He looked weird. without the
Palava
fire on
cool.
his back.
Cyndaquil cool. Typhlosion, yeah.
I don't know how you can say that. Like how Typhlosion is the coolest out of the 3 of them. Like
It
what the
is.
fuck? Like,
And I'm not
nah.
just saying that because I'm a fan of Typhlosion. Typhlosion.
No, design wise, Typhlosion is peak. They fucking cook with that shit. But
So did we also get another leak that they had some plans for Pokemon to be somewhat like Power World, in which you ride the Pokemon a little bit and you?
Oh,
No,
let's hear
that's
the
a game
gameplay
that's in
of that.
They
development.
already
It's
do
coming.
that though,
Yeah.
no? You gotta do that.
No, it's a
They're like
whole
motorcycle
Pokemon riding
Pokemon.
game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like whole league gameplay of that and everything.
All right.
We got
Yeah,
super chat.
like- Oh, we got another super chat here from Sebastian with $2 super chat saying Meganium is cheeks. Anyone who disagrees is capping. He's kind of spitting facts.
Listen, are we talking
Yeah.
about like design standpoint or like how useful the Pokemon
No,
is?
just
to use?
Even
design.
just
No,
usage,
just-
like
well, I'm just talking about design in comparison to Feraligator.
like stat wise, like it doesn't get any good moves.
I would say we're talking about usage. I know y'all ain't Typhlosion fans. All he has is Lava Plume.
But he has
Lava
Thunder
Plume,
Punch.
You can give him he has Flame Wheel.
You can give him Thunder Punch, yeah.
Yeah,
Why would you give a
Does he have
Typhlosion
Overwheat?
Thunder Punch? He's a special attacker.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that.
That's what all the
No,
people
to
say.
put
And
those
Gen
to
2,
put those water
Gen
Pokemon in
2
their places they try to pull up.
Electric is
Sure,
special.
Riku.
So
Oh my goodness. Okay. So anything else about these Pokemon leaks that we want to cover, or are we good?
there are like source codes, and they also leaked Generation 10. Pokemon Legends ZA has like been like nearly completed, and it's also leaked out there. According to the leakers as well, unfortunately, the performance for ZA is looking to be similar to Scarlet and Violet's performance.
Oh God.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because our Legends Arceus ran I wouldn't say the Legends Arceus looked beautiful. Like I still like the design of the game, but like it had got a solid stable 30 FPS, unlike Scarlet and Violet.
Disgusting. 30 FPS.
Hey man, would you prefer stable 30 FPS or would you prefer fucking
crazy.
15 FPS from Scarlet and Violet?
None of the above.
With fucking
terrible.
Listen, don't even pretend like you're not going to be there day one for the new Pokemon game. We all know what's going to happen.
Yeah, okay, I'll admit that. Gen 10,
I won't be
yeah,
there.
I'm probably
The only
day one.
franchise is the only
I've been
franchise that
there
keeps you in 30 FPS.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm not gonna be there.
Why are you not gonna be there, pal?
Because I grew out of Pokemon. I've acknowledged this.
What?
She'll come
Did-
back. They always
Wait, but
do.
did you play
No.
Scarlet and Violet?
Nope, did not.
Wow.
Don't- Nope.
What was the last
my
one you
last
played?
one. Which, oh my god, I always forget. Whichever came last, either Sun and Moon or X and Y, whatever was the last.
Sun and
one.
Moon.
Yep. So I played Moon. That was
Oh,
the
you
last
played
time.
further
And
than I did.
Yep, I played Moon, and I was like, all right, this is my final shot. I'm gonna give it. And then Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, all that shit came out, and I was like, no, I tried, but I just outgrew Pokemon. That's all. I don't even hate the franchise. Like I owe a lot to it. It's why I love anime. It's why I got into drawing. Like
That's why you love SMT.
Is it though?
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
is it-
I would-
I would say
Pokemon
that's the reason I like SMT. I'm not sure if that's for. Like,
I don't know if that's the reason why I like SMT. I like
Yeah, I don't
SMT
think
because
that's
of the
hers.
press turn system, and I actually like the art style. Well, the old one. Doi is good. I like Doi's art, but Kaneko just.
Pokemon has made me want to play more monster collecting games that aren't Pokemon.
Pokemon has just made me want to play more games that are Pokemon, but better.
Lord,
Unlike Power Wars. All right. So with Lady Pelvic here, we can talk about.
What do you mean, Wolf? Like I'm the one who could stand my ground. Y'all talk shit about Pokemon and then go crawling right
He
back
was
to it.
about
I
to
stood.
segue.
Oh, no,
into
yeah.
action woman. Jesus.
Jesus Christ,
That's
woman!
a
Would you relax?
He was
I wasn't-
segueing
you-
into romancing saga. Ooh.
Yes, Jesus Christ! Like, oh my
you don't need
God.
to jump down his throat and just start jump down his throat.
Oh, listen, I just had to listen. I was sharing the way it started up. It just sounded like he was about to be on the attack, so I had to just,
Defense
What?
mode already.
You're
Like
the
we're not
only
talking about
one.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
preemptive.
Went from
Preemptive.
Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh, like defense mode.
God damn!
All right, my bad. I'm sorry.
listen to me, pal.
sorry.
I like you, okay?
apologize.
I'm not
I
only allowed to
apologize.
attack you. Jesus Christ!
That's not true. That's a lie. You definitely attacked.
You make some questionable choices with a lot of things. You don't like that. You don't like
She really
Strange
does.
Journey that much.
What?
But
No, straight. Dog, give me a platform. I will rant on this. This game's pissing me the fuck
All
off.
right.
Like after that, now that
I
I've
mean, she
grinded
didn't-
like my
didn't
little
have a-
heart out, I'm okay. But I was dying. Oh my god, it was just
Yeah,
so
she didn't
tough.
get a chance to say what she was playing, so technically,
Just SMT 5 or Strange Journey, not 5. Whoa, SMT Strange Journey.
Bro,
And like I'm just Dungeon
I
was done.
cannot
Like,
wait.
everyone is like, oh my god, so good. The story's so good. I'm like, the story's
It's
fine.
so
Like I don't
good.
dislike the story. I actually don't like dislike the story. I would say I'm trying to enjoy it if I could like actually get through to the story, but like I just keep dying. Now
and
I'm
she's
fine.
still in the easy dungeons. That's the hilarious part.
Yeah, that's
I'm
crazy.
so
I'm
I'm
excited.
fine. No,
for
this
her
is
to
not
reach a
even the
certain
easy
sector.
dungeon. Like I'm in sector C right now, so I don't
Oh,
want to say what it
getting
is, but
close.
it's sector C. So
We've
yeah,
all played it.
I actually
Like,
I do like. I'm starting to get more into the atmosphere. Like it is actually kind of like creepy and not a creepy, like not traditional creepy. It's like uncanny. It feels more. Yeah, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I'm accepting it more and more, I guess. Whatever. Point is, I'm still pro chaos route and just like fuck the world. That's like my energy right now. Is like, I didn't like Yemez at first, but maybe he's not so bad. And he has Bugaboo, which is kind of adorable.
Bagu.
Just-
Bagu ba. Okay.
I just love him. I do. I can't tell a lie. He's just so interesting. And then I'm not gonna lie, the other girl, the representative for what's a good sucks because I do love Mastema, but yeah, I don't know, she's kind of boring. Like I'm just like, she's kind of boring. Zelenin.
Yep.
I think she's a Russian scientist. She's like kind of boring, and someone, I'm not gonna lie, someone left a comment on my SMT3 video that like, I played SMT like years ago, but at first I was really upset that like the representatives of different ideologies they were just vessels for empty ideologies. They had like really no character to connect to. But like a comment of mine said that was kind of the point, was like, if you don't like the character, like you're forced to like interact with these ideologies, like you know, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be with Team Isamu because I like Isamu. Isamu isn't really a character. None of them are really characters.
That's how Shin Megami
Nocturne.
Tensei does.
Yeah, Nocturne. And I was like, you know what? And I feel like I'm appreciating that more, because the only reason why I'm going Chaos is because I like Jimenez, I think. Jimenez? I forgot how you say his name. But yeah, Jimenez, yeah. I think I like him more, but also I'm just angry. And I feel like I can like channel my anger through him, like just fed up with the fucking situation. So I'm kind of like, I feel you. But like versus coming to like my own conclusion, you know? Like I think the best representatives of every SMT that I've played is hands down SMT5, because toward the end, specifically in vanilla, which is crazy to say, but I think in vanilla, when all the representatives like come together at like the final area and like kind of duke it out like with their words, they all actually raise really good fucking points, and it's really up to the player like what they want. Because
you're excluding Chaos, because there's no way.
No, I actually like Chaos. No. I think Chaos was really interesting, because how Chaos was framed wasn't like, haha, demons take over the world. Chaos in SMT5 was framed as like divine diversity. Like we just have the polytheistic gods. You know,
I more
like
means him as a character himself, not really his ideologies, because he didn't really have a character.
Oh. Yes. Yeah. No. Okay. No, that's true. But I think, I mean, like when they made their cases, yeah, like their character isn't anything to write home about, you know, even Tazai isn't some character to write home about, but I just like how they defended their stances, you know? Do you kind of understand what I'm trying to say? I don't know if that's...
Oh, it makes sense. Like on paper, I agree with Chaos and 5. It's just how we got there. It's like, okay.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I wouldn't argue that either. Yeah, how we got there, whatever. But I like their arguments, because I think each one like was just really good. I'm like, well, do you want divine diversity, or do you just want like one god, like just Christianity essentially, and call it a day? Do you want, you know what I mean, or do you just want no gods? Like fuck it all. Like I liked that, and it didn't, neither side. Well, I feel like Angels came off to me a little evil, but no side was particularly like evil though. You know, to me it didn't. Every side could be abused, essentially, I would argue. Like, every side could be abused, but, yeah.
I'll say for Strange Journey, like, you know, we're in this very diverse world right now, but that game has, like, the best representation of diversity, because you have so many different characters from different nationalities. And
Yeah.
I think that actually makes sense in this game, because, you know, when diversity is forced in other games.
Task force.
Yeah.
Unlike the world's brightest people in their profession, so it makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. Unlike today's day and age, where diversity is just in there, just shoved in there for the sake of being shoved in there. But you know,
right. I guess when I was talking about like specifically divine diversity and regarding like how they were talking about their ideologies is what I meant. Like diverse, like gods, right? Because there's like Hindu gods. Christianity.
I understand that. I was just bringing that up. I was just bringing that up.
Yeah. No, but that is true. I like that we have like a Russian lady. I like that we. I don't think Jimenez was specific. I don't know like exactly what he is. I don't think they specifically say.
Whatever the modern Aztec is, because he has like Aztecian tattoos on his body.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well,
so
yeah.
Let's go. Let's talk about our last topic here, Romancing Saga.
Yeah.
You've played a lot of it. You want to give us your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it's actually like a lot of fun. I think it I don't know, it scratched that itch I was really wanting, because again, I want like, I don't know, I feel like I've played a lot of JRPGs and I know what to expect when going into them for the most part, you know? When I play like old school Final Fantasy, I could expect like ATB. Sure, they have like little differences, but like I generally can like grasp it really quickly. You know, SMT, like this SMT Strange Journey is a little different because it doesn't have a press turn system, but I can grasp really quickly. Metaphor, I grasped really quickly, you know, because it was very akin to Persona / SMT. Where Saga was just a very different game not necessarily like unlike I've never played, because I played Alliance Alive, which has like the Final Fantasy 2 system where you use a weapon and it, that weapon gets stronger. So if you use a sword, your sword stats get stronger. Doesn't have traditional leveling up. So I don't know, the gameplay loop was really addictive to me. I'm a little sad that their characters are severely lacking. Like they're not even characters; they're actually just vessels for like how you build them. Like, oh, you have an archer, well, like, or you have like lady archer, and then it passes down to the next lady archer. So there's like generations, and I didn't realize, by the way, there's a cap on generations. You go through, I think, 10 cycles. So essentially, what happens is like if your party's either wiped or you do X amount of quests, which progresses time, like 172 years pass, and you have to choose a new emperor to pass down your skills to. So let's say your first generation emperor, you like maximize, like you work on your sword and great sword. Then your next emperor will be good at great sword and sword, but you could start working on like bow and arrow and axe. So now you have an emperor that's good at sword, great sword, axe, and bow and arrow, and then it adds on to each emperor and every generation. So I like that. I think that's just a fun gameplay loop. And the best thing about it, though, is it's like a choose your own adventure. And things that you do and don't do in the world actually affect like the next generation. For example, real quick, the whole theme of, or the whole point of this game is there were 7 heroes that saved the world, and now like chaos has like struck the world again, and they promised to return. But the twist is they've returned, but now they're like fiends. Now they're 7 evil doers, like big bad evils. And you're like, what happened to these great heroes? Like, this is so crazy. Well, one of the fiends,
Paradise.
Lark?
So one of the fiends is named Dantarg, and what I learned about him was, so in every generation, he like shows up randomly in different dungeons, and you want to find him soon, because if you don't, like the more generations that pass and he goes undefeated, he just destroys certain dungeons. So you never can go to those dungeons again. Like they're just destroyed. You will never have access to them, and thus never have access to certain quests and blah, blah, blah. And he gets stronger with each generation, because his whole shtick is, I absorb everything I kill, So I was like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool. And there's like just so many things you can do that that just change the game. You can, for example, like there's different classes you could find where one's a monk. This monk asks you to defeat this enemy because it's a slime and their fists do nothing. Okay, cool. So you fight this enemy, and then it's like you can go further in the cave, and there's like another enemy in there, like another like harder enemy. But so you could choose to do that, or you could say no, go back to the monks. And if you go back to them, or if you fight the enemy, you think like the monks would be like, thank you. Nah, they're like, you disgraced us. Now we look like pussies because we couldn't kill this enemy. We asked you to kill this, not that. So they end up fighting you, and then you lose the option for the monk class, which is so sad because the monk class is like so good, so broken. But I just love that the replayability of this game is insanely high. Like it is, you cannot get everything on your first run. Like you simply cannot. Like there's certain classes that you get this class or that class. There's certain events that are tucked behind. Like, if you leave behind certain things, or you take certain things, you sell certain things, or you don't sell certain, it just changes things altogether. Yeah, like I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool. The problem is, though, however, there's one problem I ran into that I had to stop playing the game for, is I got stuck, and I don't know what to fucking do after this. Like I'm genuinely stuck. I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if I'm missing something, because it really, in the original game, it was very cryptic. Like you had to go back to towns and talk to everyone and hope you stumbled on a quest. Thankfully, now they're marked, a nice quality of life issue, or quality of life improvement. So, but like all the quests that I have access to, I've done. And there's one quest I can't progress because blah, 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 irrelevant. It's just point is I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. So, and I went into this game blind. So I don't know if I like fucked myself over or what, but yeah, make sure you have multiple saves. That's what I'm gonna say. Thankfully I do, but who wants
Always
to go
have
back to
multiple
like always, but who wants to go back to a save that's like, 5 hours old, 10 hours old, So where before I would like lock myself. So yeah, I'm kind of pissed off because I was really enjoying it. It is actually a really, really, really great game. But if you like gameplay.
So Pebble, do you think that, with the release of Metaphor, you got games like Sonic Cross Shadow, Sparking Zero, and this game came out? Do you think it's a little bit underrated at this point, a little bit under the radar? Because it seems like it's a
super
very
under the
original
radar.
game.
Yeah, it's super under the radar. Like everything that you mentioned, I mean, think about like Sonic, Atlas's Metaphor, Dragon Ball Z, and then little old Saga. Like, who the fuck knows what Saga is? So it was my very first Saga game. So, yeah,
Weird time for them to come out. They should have chose a better time.
Yeah, because it's just, and I mean, like, even I feel like East is better known than Saga, if I'm being honest.
At this point,
So like East 10, Nordics, like, yeah, Saga is just getting buried alive. But and it's actually a shame because again, like, I'm really enjoying this choose your own adventure thing. I I don't know if I highly recommend going in blind since I am soft locked, but it's just genuinely fun to see the results of your choices, and like you don't see them right away, which is it's just fun to see what happens or doesn't happen. And then should you ever go back to this game, should people replay games, but specifically this one, I just think their journey would be significantly different the second time around. So yeah.
And this is the team that made this is the team that did the remake for Seiken Densetsu 3, right?
I didn't
sorry.
I don't
as
know.
far as I know, that is the case. The Trials of Mana. That's the same team. So this is what they were working on while the other team was doing Visions of Mana. Which is everyone's like, what? Why didn't they do Visions of Mana? Why didn't they just get the people that did the Trials of Mana? It's because they were working on this. So
it's really good. Like
they're saying it shows. So now everyone's wondering, should this team continue and make a Romancing Saga 3 remake? Because I heard even though Romancing Saga 2 out of all of the Saga games is arguably the most popular one. Mm-hmm. When the Saga fans start talking about, okay, that may be the most popular one, but what's the best one? That's when people start to mention either Romancing Saga 3 or Saga Frontier. So I'm wondering if this remake by that team did this well, and this isn't even what some people would consider the best one. I feel like the best thing that they could do next is either go and remake 1 or remake 3, somewhere around here, because it seems like they did a good job with this.
Yeah, I think they did a spectacular job, save for, again, this stupid lock thing that I've run into. But it's really enjoyable. The music is so good, and you can switch between the classic track and the remakes, and honestly, you can't go wrong with either. Both are good. Like, I like the music. The thing what's crazy about the music is it's not even like, oh my god, phenomenal, like jaw dropping, but it just feels like a quintessential like fantasy RPG soundtrack. Like it's just what I needed. It's not crazy complex. It's just nice. It's just nice. So
yeah, I remember when they announced the remaster, right? And I heard the music, I was like, oh my god, this is so good. I like what I'm hearing right now. It definitely gives off a Final Fantasy from the SNES era vibe, and I like that.
Yeah, and like both soundtracks are good, like classic or remastered. I recommend both. I switch between them often, just to hear the songs, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'll be getting to this game eventually. I don't know when, but it's definitely on my list.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I'm really upset with the soft lock thing, and I'm just like, well, I guess I'll play Strange Journey instead, and here I am. So, yeah.
Okay,
Good
cool.
game.
I'm probably gonna not play it. Ultimately,
Lord, all of that. Then you just
you know what? At least
I probably
honest.
will play it down the line, maybe even soonish. Since I played the original, I just didn't have time or money for this, but
yeah,
it's good to know that they did it justice.
Oh, they did. It's super fun. It's super fun.
Nah,
yeah.
I still gotta finish up. I still gotta finish up some games. I still gotta play Metaphor. Probably gonna go to East, and then by the time that happens, I'm probably Dragon Quest is gonna release, so it's just gonna be like I gotta put everything down to play that.
Wrapping up Daybreak because Daybreak 2 is right around the corner.
I gotta wrap up. Yeah, it's February, right? Damn, man.
Yeah, so like you keep on sleeping on Daybreak.
Just so I know where I'm at. How far are you at in Daybreak?
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I just got done with the desert area. I'll say that.
Oh shit, you're ahead of me. Okay, I'm still in the desert. All right, I'll get past you and then I'll put it back down.
Lord?
Oh
That's what
my
this is
God.
about, huh? That boy
Yo, that's
petty.
wild.
Listen.
What the fuck?
Riku said, "Now Blake, don't you fucking dare skip the spoiler cast on this one." So I just want to make sure I'm ahead of Shadow, so that when Shadow's done, I'll be done.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yo, do a
God.
spoiler
yeah.
cast on Azure and Zero. I'll come on that. Just let's go back. Let's go back.
You're a
backwards,
little late for that one.
Nah, bring it back.
Maybe we can do a
Rewind.
spoiler cast on the Sky remake. How about that?
Whatever.
Because you know it's gonna have a lot of new
Whatever.
people coming in.
That's true.
Whatever.
That actually might be a pretty good one to do it.
But how do you spoiler cast it without spoilering, like the rest of things leading past that?
Do your
I
best.
think it's just talking about the game that we had. I don't know.
Oh, wait,
Shit.
I have a question. So, Riku, you mentioned something like, oh man, I hope this is referenced in Sky the First, whatever. And it's something that happens in Cold Steel. Don't tell me what it is, whatever. But does it happen in Cold Steel 1 at least? Because the thing is, I want to know what you're talking about. I want to know when I play Sky the First. All right, which one does it happen in? Okay.
Answer this.
That is a loaded
Answer this.
question. Baby, your head is a loaded question.
Listen.
Secondly, it isn't.
No, sir. Answer my question, sir. Okay, is it in the first half of the quadrilogy, so 1 and 2, or is it in the second half?
Second.
Of course, I knew it was going to be the second one. All right.
Firstly,
Alright.
it's in the second half, and secondly, what I was saying that pertains to Trails in the Sky second chapter, not first.
If you guys,
I'm not
notice-
sure.
Oh yeah, so I'll have time. Fuck yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because my
Yeah,
goal is next year is to beat was this Cold Steel. Yeah. I want to start in I want to start soon. I actually want to play Cold Steel 1 in like November, December area. Yeah, because this thing I don't want to play Trails of back-to-backs, I'll die. And like I do want to play first like day one. I actually do want to play first.
But
I'm
it's interesting
so
that we're talking about Trails, but Q is not part of the conversation. It's crazy.
Listen, I want to believe that he's gonna pull a Nick Avocado, whatever guy. No, because everyone was clowning him because he ate a lot, and then out of fucking nowhere, because he pre-recorded videos. And then he came back, fucking got his life right, thin, I don't know how he did it, whatever. And I want Q to the end of the year, literally December 31st, right before the ball drops. Bruh, let's talk
Q ain't
Trails.
built like that.
He isn't.
Wow, you owe me.
He
Final
isn't.
You got 66 days left, Q. I just counted. You got 66
I hope
days.
he doesn't want to sleep for 2 months.
Yeah, I don't know how you would play all, was it 12 or 13 fucking Trails of games? That's crazy. In 66 days. That's
Q, is it 12?
unless you actually just do none of the side quests, which I think you'd be doing a huge disservice to yourself. Yeah.
It's kind of like defeating the purpose of the franchise to some degree.
So wait,
I'm not
Q,
saying you have to do every side quest ever, but yeah.
Is it 9 that you have to complete? Is it 12 that you have to complete?
No, the goal
And even
complete 5 in this time frame.
I'm just saying,
the
how
bet
many he
was
completed at this point?
Oh, how many has he completed at this point?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to hit that. How
All right, Q, how many have you completed?
How do you have to go?
No comment on how many I've completed at this point.
Crazy.
It's
Okay,
crazy.
Q,
We can see.
Just get the money. Just get the money ready, boy. Just get the money.
You can see from my Steam account. Is that so?
Is
Yes,
it more
we
than
can.
5 games that you've completed so
Okay,
far?
noted.
Q? Is it more than 5?
I can't comment on that.
Is it
We'll
less
find
than
out.
5? Is
You'll
it 3?
find out soon. You'll find out soon.
We know already.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Just know that we know that you are active. We know that you're not going to fall off the grid anytime soon. So.
And we see when you're playing other series via Discord.
All right. Crunchyroll is a hell of an app. I'm just saying.
I don't.
Crunchyroll,
That Crunchyroll that you guys see is my
eFootball.
brother. My brother has my Crunchyroll account. and
brother.
He is binging Dragon Ball with his missus right now, and that's why you see it all the time. My younger brother uses my Crunchyroll account, and for whatever reason, even though he has a profile, Crunchyroll does not. It shows it as if I'm watching Crunchyroll. I'm not watching Crunchyroll. At least not right now.
All right.
So yeah.
All right, guys, let's get up out of here. Let's go with the outros. Q, since you're laughing, you want to start off the outros? Go ahead, man.
Yes, this has been quite an episode, quite a podcast. I enjoy coming on every time and having these conversations about JRPGs and all that kind of good stuff. Don't worry, you guys. We will have lots and someone said the lies. Anyway, that being said, this was a great episode. Had a good time. We're here for them waifus as always, and we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm a bit low energy right now because I haven't had dinner yet, so yeah.
Yeah, I need to eat dinner too.
He's
I'm hungry.
sweating.
I got pussy.
Blake.
It has been that time, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. It has been that time. I said that 4 times. I'm stuttering. I am also starving. Shadow's always like, people are going to go in, we're going to talk about this, and we're going to get out. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, yeah, that never happens. But, guys, it has been fun. Thank you, as always, for coming on out. We will definitely have another show before the end of the year. So you guys can see Q.
Yeah.
You can see him one last time before he cuts himself off from the internet and moves to a deserted island. But yeah, make sure you guys are in the next stream because I think probably next stream we're probably gonna be talking about Dragon Quest and probably Game Awards stuff.
Yeah, I think we'll have
Shadow's gonna be paying up.
Maybe like 2 or 3 podcasts for the end of the year. But I will say, Q, we're gonna need some type of progress report. We're gonna need something from you. Because you can't just come at like December 31st and just be like, I completed them all. We're gonna need some proof. All right, we need some tangible
All I'm
evidence.
saying is, if that Steam account shows that you still are on Chapter 1 of Sky 1, and you come in here with some, I've beaten the games off camera. Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see some stuff. I'll say
a whole
this
video essay.
I'll say this: if you're playing all of them on PC, you should be save scumming so we can see some timestamps at the very least. We need to see some timestamps.
Wow.
All right. Okay. So I'm just saying, if you're doing that, anyway, Riku, go ahead.
Ooh.
Riku's on one, the only one. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Apparently, this is the 4 years since Trails of Cold Steel 4 came out. My favorite game of all time. I love you. And peace out, everybody.
Probably just leave that in.
All right, bye.
You don't want my thoughts on Trails of Cold Steel 4, but since Riku was in a good mood, I won't say it anyways. Thank you all for coming out. Q, no one believes your lies. I don't know why you're even trying, but we'll know come December 31st and January 1st.
I love you too, Bao. I love you too.
January 1st, I better not hear any excuses.
Pal?
What's up? It's your girl, Lady Pelvic, and thank you for having me on the podcast. Sorry I was late, but yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Pelvic Gaming, and look forward to Star Ocean, was it Second Story R review, and of course, Strange Journeys coming along. It's coming along. So yeah, look forward to that. And a Halloween video. A Halloween video. It's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, thanks.
All right, guys, Mr. JRPG Shadow here. I'm gonna put my nose deep all up in it. I'm gonna put my whole
What the fuck
mouth,
is happening?
my tongue is gonna be deep in metaphor. All right, all around there. All right, gonna give that game a good tongue lashing. All right,
Sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Sir. What do you mean?
Gonna treat it like he does his Latinos.
Gonna spread it all cheeks. Not even gonna go in there with no lube. Just right after they took a dump too. Nah, okay. Anyway, we're out.
Yo,
we're out here.
Someone clip that.
Peace.